We don't show prep. So, so he had no idea.
I just barely make it in.
I'm sure you can tell, but we don't show.
I mean, let's put the cards down on the table here.
Miami Hurricanes, yeah. You know the name already. It's Mercy, ha ha. It's a 6-ring Kane show. Can't forget the name though. Got Jazz, Blue, Vision, DJ, break the game code. Ain't no changing them, ain't no breaking them. Real put alive from the Hard Rock Stadium. Ball 14 for the orange and green. We see the 6-ring champs. It's more than a dream. This is life on the field. Beyond 100 yards, a hurricane that's never still put a damage to your squad. The 6-ring Kane show. The 6-ring Kane show. The 6 Rings Kane show. You know.
What's wrong with us? Seriously.
What's wrong with us? We're Miami Hurricanes fans.
Welcome to the 6 Rings Kane Show, a show dedicated to Miami Hurricane sports, featuring the legendary Larry Bluestein, Jazz Santana, Vish, and Danny Gillette. Let's go Canes.
Yo. Buenas noches. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah. Game week.
Baby.
Game week.
Finally here. It's like Christmas for all of us Canes fans.
We're undefeated. We're undefeated.
Officially
undefeated. Feeling good.
As of right now,
we got through week 0 without taking a loss, so this is good stuff.
If you calculate that right, it looks like we may go 12-0. So
if you extrapolate that out, no losses.
I think so far so good, which is great. I think the guys look healthy. They look strong. They look ready to go. Unless you're some crazy Canes fans and you think that TVD apparently broke.
Oh boy, that was the worst of Canes fandom over the last couple of days.
Yeah, what do you you kind of get used to it at this point. So, what's up?
Shout out to Anthony. Happy birthday, Anthony. Ooh, we have Ernie in the chat as well.
Real quick, we got a loaded show today. We got a really loaded show. We're going to go over, obviously, some of the latest recruiting news. Big one this weekend, Zaquan Patterson, the safety out of Chaminade Madonna, 5-star safety. In my eyes, the best safety in the country has committed to the Miami Hurricanes. Super excited about that. We'll talk a little bit about, just the season outlook with some of the guys that we have backstage. And we also got, and we got some amazing guests that are going to come on and talk a little bit about Miami, this game against Miami of Ohio, and of course their season outlook as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on our first guest and get it going. Obviously a friend of the program. Look at this guy with the glasses on.
With the glasses, man. I got to look smart for this show.
Wow, the hat backwards.
No, you don't.
Beard. Look at you, man. Are you in love or something, bro? You got a girlfriend?
Nah, bro.
Man, I don't know.
It's game week. I had to
It's game week. It's game week.
I had to go to the barbershop, get the beard done professionally.
Nice.
I wanted to take all week off of work, but I know that's not reasonable. So I'm only taking Friday off.
It's all good, man. What's going on, Max? How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. Just got done eating dinner, and I'm ready for the show. Then I got a fantasy draft tonight. 1 of 3 this week, so super excited.
That's right. I know it because Mel, who's going to come on right after you.
and Lex, who's coming on after.
All of you in the league?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. My goodness. I'm gonna bring on Mel and Lex together in a second, man, because I want to, I know we're strapped for time, so I wanted to kind of talk to you. Obviously, you come on the show pretty regularly. We talk about the season all the time, right? The outlook of what we see in practice, what we see in recruiting wise. This is kind of the moment where this is it, right? We got 4 days to the game against Miami of Ohio Friday night. the guys, if the atmosphere around the program is a little bit different, you kind of feel, the energy and the turnover on this team. It's a completely different team than it was last year, of course, but still tough schedule. Still, a lot of things to learn from this program. If you're looking at the team now, right, as opposed to when we first started training camp, as opposed to the summer, so on and so forth. What's your take on, how you feel this team is going to perform this year? We talked about records and all that. Throw the records out the window. I think at this point, kind of just want to get your take on how you feel this team could potentially perform this year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel good overall. I'm a little bit weary of some things with the team, but I'm really looking forward to watching them play. I'm really looking forward to watching Coach Dawson and Guidry call games for the first time as Miami Hurricanes. I think that I'm so intrigued in what's going to happen with Guidry on defense because of how much pressure he sends and how physical this defense and how fast this defense is going to be. So overall, I'm just super, super excited. Like I said, I wanted to take the whole week off of work because I'm so excited and I can't focus. All I'm thinking about is football. So, I'm amped. I'm really amped about the team this year, and I hope they kick some butt on Friday.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of had the same feeling at work. I'm like, I just came back from the Keys, being 3 days in the Keys, haven't come back to work, to knowing that Friday is a game. It's like, I don't want to be at work right now, man.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable. One more question about Miami of Ohio, then kind of, Vish, Blue, DJ kind of opened the floor for a question for Max, but your assessment of, this Miami of Ohio team, how they come in. They've got a lot of returning guys on defense. Some half decent players on that side of the football. They've obviously got Gabbert coming back as well.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good quarterback. Obviously gave us some bulletin board material this week. Excuse me. And it's not a, and it's no disrespect. I mentioned this last week. No disrespect to Bethune or any of those teams, but it's a little bit of a step up from a team like that you play at the beginning of the season. So it's a nice matchup. What's your take on Miami of Ohio coming into Miami and playing the Kings on Friday?
Yeah, I think Flo said it best in his Flow Motion earlier, whatever his show was this afternoon, about how, just like what you said, it's not a Bethune-Cookman. So this is a really good game to get yourself warmed up for a Texas A&M, whereas Bethune-Cookman, it's like practicing against your scout team. So for me, exactly what you said as well. The returning players. I mean, they're returning most of their starters. I think 20 of the 22 defensive players from their two deep last year are still on the roster, which is insane. And they're returning a lot of offensive players as well. So they're and Flo said this is during his show earlier today. They're probably a better team than us right now because they're used to playing with each other. They don't have new coordinators. They don't have a ton of new players, whereas we have brand new coordinators and a ton of 40-something new players. So from a team perspective, they might have the upper hand. From a talent perspective and the roster perspective, clearly we have more talent. I mean, it's not close, right? So I think it might be a little bit closer than some people are imagining. Like, I've seen some scores where people are like, oh, we're going to beat them 66-3. I don't see it being a game like that whatsoever. But I think we'll win comfortably.
Yeah, I don't think this is like Savannah State or something like that either.
Right.
So, excuse me. I know we got some really good commits. We got a really good commit, obviously, potentially the best safety in the country. I don't know, Blue, DJ, Vish, you guys got anything for Max there? Before we kick him out of here?
I have some. Yeah, I just have a question. So obviously, big 5-star safety. Do you think the success of Cam Kinchins and what he's been able to do, obviously within the program, is kind of making the safety position, even more appealing for Miami and prospective recruits?
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely helps when you have a guy that won the All-American award. that's a big selling point that a staff can give a recruit and say, hey, listen, we just coached up an All-American at your position, and he's probably leaving after this season, so you can kind of slide right in potentially and fight for that job from day one. It helps he's a local kid, helps he has a relationship with Cam Kitchens already. You know, they are friendly with each other, and we have a ton of other players that are committed currently that we're friends with, or that are friends with Zaquan. So I think all of those things kind of played into it. And what you said, Jazz, about maybe the best safety in the country, it's kind of funny because A Black's son played against, I think, the number one rated safety in the country in KJ Bolden this past weekend, and he was actually guarding him for most of the game because KJ plays both ways. And it was interesting. You know, I definitely think KJ is a solid player, but I think Zaquan had a better game on Saturday, the Chaminade game, than KJ did against A Black's son, personally. But that doesn't necessarily mean Zaquan's better. But I think they are probably 1 and 2, and I think it's a really close battle there.
Nice. Before we let you go, Blue, is it a secret what you got going on later today? I don't want to kind of throw it out there.
Oh, you mean the interview?
Yeah.
Oh no. It will. Right now it is, but it won't be.
Well, can I? Because I think Max will appreciate this.
This is up Max's alley.
Yeah, this is right up Max's alley, man. We got the number 1 overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft. Maybe speaking with Blue later. I don't know. It might happen. So that's pretty cool. So that's something
that's awesome.
That's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on for later, as he's got Paul Skeens on.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
But he was gonna do it Sunday, Flo, but he got lit up on Saturday and didn't even last an inning. So.
I saw that.
But he's tonight I do a segment for Baseball America on him, and great dude.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, he's almost apologized that he says he didn't get much sleep on Saturday.
I got shelled, man. Give me a day.
Yeah, I think he got 2 outs. He gave up like 4 hits, 4 runs, 3.
And the worst part of it is all the brass from Pitt were there.
Yeah,
he got it out of his system, so we're good.
But the very fact that he'll get 3 or 4 more starts and he'll start next year, maybe on the 40-man, and maybe be the opening day starter.
Yeah,
that's pretty big.
Put way too much money into him. But yeah, that's it. Should be it should be a pretty good game on Friday, I think. I've known Coach Martin, the head coach, since he was an assistant at Michigan State back in the day, and I sent him a message, and he said the only thing he said is don't sleep on our defense. That's what he said. So I highly don't think they're going to get 60-something points on them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I was because you guys weren't even here. But, I mean, I was at the last Miami game, sitting in that Orange Bowl watching like 58 points.
1987.
1987. No, I definitely was. I was already here. I just wasn't there.
Yeah, I was sitting in the Orange Bowl. I remember going on the field after the game and to talk to the coach, and they overwhelmed them. I don't know if that's going to happen this time. Right. And Flo brought up a good point because these guys actually have played together, for 3 years. They're returning starters on defense. They have 9 returning starters and 11 too deep, 20 too deep, or 19 too deep. So they did every special teams come back, and Gabbard's kind of a chatty Cathy, so I don't really. He was taunting Ball State last year, I think.
Yeah. Max, I know we got to get you out of here, man. Appreciate you coming on for a little bit here on this crazy.
All right, Flo.
We'll see you.
All right. I'd see you, Max.
Take care.
I guess everyone on the network is now just Flo at this point. I will say before we bring on our next 2 guests, I'm on this side of the fence. We're gonna kick their ass. What are we talking about?
No, we're not worried. I'm not worried either.
It's Miami.
Well, we weren't worried about Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, and that was last year.
I will not let that go.
Gotta let it go, man.
I let it go.
I'll let it go. I'll let it go at 11 o'clock on Friday night.
I'm with Blue on this one. You can never overlook anybody. I don't care.
No, I'm overlooking. We're gonna kick their ass.
I'm not kicking.
Power to the people. We're gonna whip their ass.
I'm
All
with
right,
Blue.
real quick before
and
we
that's
bring on,
that.
actually, you know what? I'm gonna get Blue. I'm gonna get your take at 9:00 on Zaquan Patterson because I want to bring these two in because I know they got to get out of here.
Okay,
So
okay.
let's bring in.
Sat next to him all day on Saturday.
I bet. Well,
I got on that dang that bench because it was like 200 degrees on the turf. So
I heard. Ish. Let's go. Let's bring on Mel and Mr. Lex from Miami Mayhem. Everybody knows
Hey,
Mel,
what's up,
right?
everybody?
Everybody knows Mel.
What's going on, everybody?
They better from buckets. I mean, it's the greatest show on YouTube.
Our girl Mel.
I've also had to fill in when Jazz and Blue were both gone in the same week.
Oh, I know. That was brutal. And of course, what's up, Lex Daddy? Coming back from Vegas.
What's
Look
going
at
on,
you,
everybody?
Man. Guy just got off the airport.
Yeah, we got
us.
exactly got delayed a little bit with luggage and everything, so we're just getting back.
It's Vegas, man. It's Vegas.
Lex in the car is giving me flashbacks to when he almost killed us all in Houston. But
that person we had on the car was Frank Hunt.
Lex almost got us into a car accident.
Unbelievable, man. Hey, listen, I need those guys for my shows, bro.
No,
right?
never me.
No, man, listen, I remember. I got a call too, remember? I got a call. I got the first call from Lex. I'm like, this guy's butt dialing me for sure.
Oh, that's right. We called Lex for we called him.
And then I got another call. I go, hold on, let me pick up the phone really quick. Hey, bro, why aren't you here? I was like, hey,
that's what happens when you let Lex sit in the front
why weren't
seat.
you at the
I was
Final Four,
nice.
Jazz?
I know, bro. I know. It was I had a family birthday party and I was hanging out with the fam, man. But listen, I made it to Kansas City like 6 months late. All right. Obviously, I was there a couple last weeks. 3 weeks ago now? A month ago now? So I made it late, but I'm there. I was there. I was there in Kansas City. So, anyways, I know you guys got to get on out of here soon, but we talk about it. Again, we talked about it with Max right now about the season outlook, what we kind of can expect from from this team. But I want to get your take on the excitement level, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all excited about it. But Lex, I know we joke around, and Mel, we joke around on the Discord all the time that Lex says we're going 12-0, and it's fun. It's fun to talk about. But the truth is, this is a completely new team. So what are we thinking as Lex has to get back on? Mel, I want to get your take on how you feel the season outlook has changed from the beginning of the summer or even February on up until now that training camp is over and the guys are ready to go on Friday.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic. I think that's probably what most Canes fans are feeling right now. Obviously, I think we all think the team's gotten better from what we were last season, but you don't really know until you see it on the field. Like basically half a new team, all new coordinators. Just trying to be cautiously optimistic, but not try to get my hopes too high because being disappointed seems to be a usual thing in Miami football the last 20 years.
Look at Lex nodding his head. Lex is like 12-0, baby, ride or die. Let's go.
You know what? I'm gonna jump on board with Vish. We're kicking their ass all over the field. I mean, it's Miami, Ohio. I think it's gonna be 44-17. They're going to get a bunch of field goals, maybe one score. But let's just put it like this. Tyler Van Dyke should not be in the game in the fourth quarter. Simple as that. I don't know why everybody needs to be so optimistic. That's why you brought in the players you needed, so you wouldn't have to be optimistic. I'm sorry. So, Vish, I'm with you. We whooped their ass all over the field.
I like it. I'm not opposed to that. At all, man. At all. I gotta ask a question to you guys because we gotta switch it up here, right? So Friday is the first time we get to. It's a dress rehearsal, right? It's a dress rehearsal for tailgating as well. Lex, I think you'll be down here, right? I'm pretty sure you'll be down here. Yeah. Mel, I know you'll be at the game. Fish will be at the game. Blue will be at the game. So most of us here, I know. I'm DJ. We're gonna get you down. I promise, brother. We're gonna get you down.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe to get DJ down to a game.
Yeah,
can't wait.
For sure, man. For sure, but. This is a dress rehearsal, right? For tailgating purposes. We'll be out there. We're all going to be hanging out together, hopefully. Favorite tailgate food, right? Like, what do you need to have at a tailgate in order to make it a successful tailgate?
I already know Melissa's answer, but go for it.
Oh, because you guys probably talk about this on buckets.
I mean,
guarantee it.
does a condiment count?
Sure, whatever it is.
I mean, the only condiment we bring to my tailgates is Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah.
But if you want to,
that's not what I thought you were going to answer. I thought
if you want to go food, my go-to football food is always Cheetos Puffs.
Okay.
Okay. Also, I thought you were going to talk about grilling donuts, but anyway.
Well, that's our dessert. We grill donuts.
Those are dangerous in my house. Man.
We like to grill Krispy Kreme donuts.
That's not food. That's not food. That's not food.
It's a snack.
I mean, the Jazz, it all depends on the type of game. When you got Clemson coming up, you know, when we play Clemson, we've already got plans for crab legs, lobster tails. I mean, you got to go. We're going all out, man. You know, I know the general for opening day this Friday is picking up about 20 or 30 pounds of churrasco for the grill. So it all oh no, you guys don't know what he's saying. And if you want to know the type of food, Jazz, you know about this, but we had the tailgating show live, so everybody that lives out of town can actually see the type of food, the different type of tailgates that people do. So we want to bring that experience to people that don't live in Florida, you know. But I tell you right now, we have about 30 pounds of churrasco being marinated Thursday night for 24 hours for our tailgate.
So I'm going to be there at about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Who's bringing La Caja China, or is that for another game? Yeah, do it, right? At least once this year.
That might be for the national championship game. You know, when we get back.
When we go 12-0.
If we're undefeated going into Clemson, we got to break out La Caja China.
All right, fair enough.
At that point, we'll be like,
when we go undefeated, Vish, when we go undefeated into Clemson, I'm going to pull out all my receipts from people that doubted me.
Lex, I'm not doubting you. I'm just trying to be cautiously optimistic.
Why be cautious?
I don't.
Okay. So let me ask you guys a question.
I don't like to be disappointed.
But,
you're gonna be
but
anyway.
you know what? We're on Jazz's show.
In what
I want to ask you guys a question.
Would you lose that game and not be disappointed? Like, who gives a crap? You might as well enjoy the ride.
But how many times have we been disappointed in the last 20 years with Miami football? So why go optimistic? Then why don't you just go all in? So what is it changing from last year to this year? Nothing. So why not just go all in and support the team? Stop being cautious.
10 wins last year.
Yeah, Blue Nose. We went all in last year.
How optimistic can you get there?
Let's not talk about last year's prediction. Let's not talk about last year's prediction.
And then Vish was like 59-0 against Middle Tennessee all day.
I remember that, Vish.
He just didn't figure it'd go the other way.
I swear to God, you guys don't remember like your parents' birthdays or your spouse's birthdays. Remember every score prediction I've ever made.
Yeah, I can't even remember that I've seen Vish since the Final Four. My brain.
I know that was rough. That was rough on last week's buckets.
Yeah,
totally forgot about baseball regionals.
She's based on all those baseball games the three of us went together. It wasn't just me, Josh. She forgot you.
I was like, oh, Vish, I haven't seen you since the Final Four. Oh wait.
I bet.
We went to like 5 baseball games together in May.
Listen, I know you guys got a draft really quick coming up now in the next 5 minutes, so we'll end it with this. Give me your Lex. I know you gave me a score, but let's put it this way: who scores the first touchdown for the Canes?
Who scores the first touchdown for the Kings? Arroyo.
I already said I said on Locked On Canes, I said Kobe Young, so I'll stick to Kobe.
I think Kobe Young gets a couple of catches down the first drive, and then we do some kind of some post play from about 20 yards out to Arroyo.
All right.
That's what Chalupa Batman said. I know y'all are gonna have him on in a little bit too. He predicted Arroyo, so
I'm going with Fletcher.
You got Big Barnes Fletcher. Yeah, that's a good one too. Goal line, just give the ball to him, and he's gonna run somebody over, right? That sounds.
Yo, Lex, your other half is in the chat.
Oh boy, is he? Hey yo,
there it is. Hey, my boy Ayo in the chat.
Oh,
yo, man. Real quick. Shout out to Norchad Omir. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Norchad.
It is Nor.
Nice. Happy birthday to Norchad. Guys, go kill it in the draft. Just don't choose Travis Kelce with the first pick. And
I think I have the third pick. Should be an interesting spot to pick in.
That sounds like fun. Have fun. Good luck in the draft. And I'll see you guys on Friday.
Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on Friday, man. Have a good night.
You got it, brother.
You as well.
All right. So while we wait for our next, we don't have anybody backstage yet, right?
No, I think the next one's at 9:15, so we got a little time. Because Lex was supposed to be at 9, but
we got a little bit of time. Blue, who are you going with for the first touchdown? You said Fletcher?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Fletcher?
I think
that
they
too.
use him a lot 20 and in because,
Yeah.
They tried to do it with Thad Franklin, but he just wasn't the answer. But Mark Fletcher will be. And they're going to use all the backs, I think.
Yeah.
Why
I think
wouldn't
Henry Parrish is going to do some work early. I'm going with Henry Parrish. I think Henry Parrish is going to score.
But he's not. You see, when they're down near the goal line, they're not gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
Not when they have those big backs like that. Why would you?
Yeah, I know.
Unless you're saying that he's going to break one off for a
he could. Yeah, I think
55
he'll
or
break like a
60
20-yarder and get in. I think.
All right.
Do something like that.
I'm just saying.
Look, we didn't really. I just flashed this on screen. Didn't really comment. We got our boys back here with his Nuggets, and
I know.
we just kind of glossed over it.
What? Gary's back.
Gary's been in hiding. He went into witness protection.
Doing,
He
Gary?
came out for the Nuggets, and boldly came out with Melissa on screen, which
Yeah,
could have ended poorly.
Listen, you're a good man, Gary. You're a good man. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, real quick. Pent down. Gary got 52. Biggie, Gus, what's up, Gus, Daddy? U-Town is in the house. We got Blue is sitting, saying to himself, "Can I get off?" Blue, I know, right? You want Paul Skeens? I get it. Drosky, what's up, Drosky? AO in the chat. And of course, everybody else is going to be joining soon. We've got.
I don't know if you saw the U 1975 was on a little bit earlier, talking about the line, and we got to cover. Yeah, 17. It's about 17 and a half. Feels like one we should cover.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good about this game.
I think 17 is crap. That's a little insulting, but whatever. I get it.
And again, we did comment on this a little bit, but it is Anthony's birthday, so shout out to Anthony.
Yes, it is. Happy birthday, Anthony.
I think that's everyone that has. Oh, here's.
Shawana, I'm your shot. Lucy, you are the best in the industry, man. Let's go, Miami.
Yeah, yes, definitely. No, you will not get an argument.
What industry are we in?
I mean, we're not in the same industry you're in.
Oh.
So,
no, you're on a different level than us.
Yeah, yes, you are the industry.
Yeah, come on now. Don't sell yourself short.
That's good, bro. That's why Blue's the best, man. Are you kidding me? DJ, who do you got? Who's scoring the touchdown for you?
Colby Young. I really like Colby Young. I think he's going to have a huge year in this offensive scheme. I'm predicting a big year for Colby Young this year. I mean, he was great last year, and our offense was so-so. Now I think this year he's going to really, really break out. Well,
I think you saw him flourish, Vish and DJ, everybody. I think you saw him flourish with TBD, and then once TBD got hurt, then he kind of, took a backseat a little bit. The offense was different. Now you got TBD all year long, hopefully, right? Crossing our fingers for that one. He could really do some big things. So
in the air raid. So
yeah, I don't think that's a bad choice at all, man.
Crossing your busted finger that we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, my
DJ, did Lex steal your thunder by saying Arroyo? Because I know you like those tight ends.
Oh man,
no, I don't see a tight end touchdown for a little bit. I see a wide open offense, tight ends for the dirty areas, the red zone, in the running game. So I go with Young.
I think because you got so many tight ends that have had some injuries and are coming back from those injuries, they will play, but you're going to see a lot of them kind of getting.
They're going to work them in slowly.
Yeah, work them in slowly. A lot of run blocking. Cam McCormick will probably start, I'm thinking, just because of that, because he's a really good, really good player in the run. So I could see that, but I can also see him kind of run a little bit of a bootleg. And TVD just finding one of those tight ends like an Arroyo guy from 15 yards out, kind of hit one of those, boom, right there in the flat, and he scores. So, Vish, who do you got scoring first touchdown, man?
I'll go the other direction, defensive touchdown.
Ooh, look at you! I know someone in the chat said Harrell, right? Running.
Yeah, I think on a kick. Yeah, 52 big ass Harrell on a kick. Drosky also said Harrell. I don't know if in the flow of the offense or not, but I'll go Daryl Porter pick 6.
Daryl Porter, nice.
Nice. Gabbard's been running his mouth, man. We gotta shave him.
We're a fan. We're a fan of Daryl Porter and his family. Me and Blue sat with the family for Canes Fest and sat next to the girlfriend and all that. She was funny. She was cool. She loves that team, and she you could tell that she follows them. She was fun to chat to too. So as well. Yeah, I mentioned it before. I think I like Henry Parrish to score the first touchdown.
All right, that's good.
So that's gonna be good. Blue, I wanted to talk to you about this, right? So obviously we saw some recruiting go down, some commitments go down this weekend. I know, the whole David Stone saga, which I still think is still to be determined. I think it's TBD. I know he chose Oklahoma this weekend, but according to a lot of people and what they saw there at IMG, he was ready to pick Miami, right? Ready to pick Miami. The family knew. The family was on board. Everybody was wearing orange and green, yada, yada, yada. And then last minute he chose.
And then that check came in.
Right. Yeah. And then the check cleared. The check cleared. And,
not the first time Oklahoma's done this either.
But I don't think we're done with David Stone's recruitment. I think that one's still could be a possibility that that could be a flip. We'll see. But the one that I really want to talk about is, 5-star safety out of Chaminade Madonna. I know that you know him well, Blue, is Zaquan Patterson. We've spoken about him before a lot. His recruitment has been one of those things where it's kind of hard to not keep your eye on that kid on defense and how good he is, how good of a player he is. Even before that, we saw some other safeties. We saw the kids at St. Thomas, OJ Frederic play, pretty well against John Bosco, even though St. John Bosco is absolutely unbelievable. Apparently, they're really damn good.
More than apparently.
Man, we saw Ryan Mack do some really good things as well. He looks good. I love what Ryan Mack brings. So, but getting back to Zaquan, you know him well. Give us kind of your take on the commitment. How excited you may be for the Hurricanes to land a big time safety like that.
Well, first of all, heading into his senior year, he had 51 starts in high school as a varsity player.
Wow.
With 3 state championships. He's a safety with a linebacker mentality and a linebacker body, too. I watched him the other day. Actually, like I said, because the heat of the dang game on that turf had it been like 110, 112, I sat on the bench, which was almost on the track, and he was sitting down with me most of the game, and we were talking about, because at the time he didn't announce, so I just said to him, I said, you know what, wherever you choose, you're going to be, you're going to be a first year dude. I mean, you're going to come in and you're going to, make a difference. He goes, well, I've groomed myself, pretty much my own entire career for that. And he's a player. He's got loose hips, so the kid covers well too. So that's a huge asset and a lot taller than you think too. I mean, standing next to him, and yeah, it's a good Chaminade team. They're fortunate the kid Michael Van Buren went down because, he had them going in the first half. But Chaminade defense is really an underrated team play. They have a lot of good players, and look at the secondary they got. Chris Ewald, who's going to Michigan, just a junior, and they had so much talent in that secondary, and he's just he's a guy. I mean, he's the a lot of people coming up to me, oh, he'll never stick. I said, I don't. Why would he have even gone out on a limb if he's not going to stick? I think he'll be fine. He wants to stay home. Like you said, he knows Cam Kinch's. Actually, he knows Cam Kinch's brother. And they kind of like bridge the gap a little bit. And, because the thing about South Florida athletes, and I know, DJ, you may not know, but I mean, if you play at one school, everybody, because they play youth together, they play 7-on-7s together, and so nobody's really a stranger, And I saw the other night, I went to the. We'll talk about Luke Nickel in a second too. I mean, I saw him on Thursday. It's just the unfortunate thing with that game was it was like 6 feet of mud, So but he throws the ball real well, and he's got a lot of presence, and this extra senior year is going to be good for him. He's only a junior, but he whips the ball around pretty good. But he was just hampered so bad by that mud. It just his feet were sticking in the mud. But he's and a good, nice young man. So, but getting back to, it was a tough week because I think I told you last week I went to the Booker T and American Heritage Kickoff Classic, and one of the players on American Heritage Timothy Burrows Love had a seizure and then went into cardiac arrest on the sideline. And so it was heavy hearts all week for American Heritage. And tell you what, they came out. Malachi Tony is 28 years old. He is.
That kid is
that guy, he plays like he is in the NFL. I mean, the kid's a sophomore. He's got leadership. He's got everything. So I'll tell you that's a huge get for Miami. And watched him for the entire game. And he's the guy. He's the type of guy that when he gets to Miami, he'll talk to whoever is at quarterback by then, and he'll say, "Hey, I'm going to get open. Throw it to me." And that's what we miss. That's what Rambo used to do. When they used to mic them up in the huddle, Rambo used to say, "Hey, get it to me. I'm open." And we miss that. And I think that's part of what Miami's got going. And I know that people texted me the other day when I went 7-5, they're going to leave DJ alone but they're not going to leave me alone. So, and they said, "Oh, you got to be crazy. You're losing." You said, "You're getting old, senile." But I was only going on the fact that, we took each game at a time, one at a time. And me and DJ were picking as non-homers. That's all.
Listen, you guys aren't the only ones. You guys aren't the only ones, man. There's a lot of people out there that are going with 7-5, and
evidently Lex isn't.
No, Lex is not. Lex doesn't count because Lex is gonna go homer or bust. So he's a rider.
Lex just got back from Vegas. You got to bear with him a little.
Yeah, he's putting all his chips on the table literally right now. Right? He's going 12-0, and that's it. So
well, Lex and I can show up to Charlotte, regardless of which teams are there.
He must have done really good in Vegas. So
he's feeling good.
Yep.
No, he was the first guy we've had in a car since Frank Pont. So that's.
I'm pretty sure Jazz went through a Taco Bell drive-through after Frank Pont.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were doing that Taco Bell drive-through.
I did.
Well, I'm talking yes. Jazz lives here, so.
Yeah, he just got home from the airport. He told me, he's like, "My flight gets there at 8." I'm like, "Oh, damn, that's crazy."
But the first thing when I came on, I checked DJ's fan. It ain't on.
No fan still. No fan.
I think it might be done for the.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
we're getting close. We're getting close.
You're gonna be going to fall weather again pretty soon.
Yeah,
maybe I'll turn on the fan at least once just for you. Maybe during the winter, I'll surprise you one day and I'll turn on my fan.
I think you have to, man. You have to.
You don't do it during the summer. You put it on when it's 11 below out.
The central AC over here is nice, so I don't really need my fan too much.
There you go.
Must be nice.
But yeah, for like.
How come you look like you're on a second floor for some reason?
No, I'm on a first floor. Like, this is my room right here just because I can't get upstairs too easy. So I just stay on the first floor, and it's a pretty big room. It's a nice, quiet room, and I just tell everybody to shut up so I can do this with you guys, and it works. So
he mutes and he goes, "Hey, everybody, shut the hell up!"
Yeah.
Who was that? Antonio Tripp. He was marking orders.
DJ, I want to get your take on Zaquan and guys like I don't know if you got to see anything this weekend. Excuse me. Any of the guys play like Ryan Mack and OJ, and I know some of the other players that were able to play also, but Luke Fickle. I know Luke Fickle. Listen to me, Luke Nickel. Luke Nickel. Luke Fickle.
Or Fickle, whatever.
Yeah, right. That's another big time prospect coming out. Big quarterback, 2025 kid, right? Or 2025. Yeah. Malachi Tony, potentially the number one wide receiver in that 2026 class. Could even, I wouldn't be surprised if he reclassified to 2025. So, some really big news. And a lot of people are talking, well, we missed on Stone and we missed on this one and we missed on that one. And we're not talking enough about the guys. First of all, we've got some pretty good blue chippers on the team already. Oh, we missed that defensive tackle. We've got a blue chipper in Artavius Jones. We've got two blue chippers at defensive end and Lightfoot, and we flip Elias Rudolph from Michigan. I mean, and it's not December, and we got to relax. We got to chill pill. We got to understand that this is still a long way to go in recruiting, man. But what do you like about the guys that have, committed so far, the Nichols and the Tonys and and of course Zaquan. What's your take on those guys?
I really like Nickel. I think he's a very accurate passer. He's very good at placing the ball where it needs to go, and he makes smart decisions with the football. And I think that's what we need. Just overall traits as a quarterback. I mean, sure, the running quarterback is great and things like that, but in college, especially where defense can be iffy at times, having a good pocket passing quarterback is invaluable. And I think Nickel brings that to the table. And just your overall statement of fans being upset that we missed out on some guys. We are going to miss out on some guys because everybody else wants them too. So I mean, I think the fact, I always look at what teams are doing before a season starts in terms of recruiting, and I think Miami is set up pretty nicely. And games haven't even been played yet. I mean, we don't necessarily know what Shannon Dawson's offense is going to look like yet. We all have an idea, right? But we don't know what it's going to look like. And we don't know what the defense is going to look like, in real live action. And neither do recruits yet either. So I think once that happens, maybe we could land some commitments down the road. And then, the safety, Patterson, I mean, that's just another huge get. And, Blue and I have talked about stacking players and stacking positions and developing players and getting pipelines going at positions. Well, Miami certainly has one at the safety spot, especially, if Kinchins has another great year and then Patterson comes in. I think Miami could really start to make their name at the safety position as well.
Yeah. I think everybody has to remember as well. Utah, we did miss on some guys like Collins and Scott and Franklin. But you got to remember also, man.
Just relax for now.
There's still some guys out there. Okay, there's some guys that we may not even be talking about now. I wouldn't say that we're not getting Breland. I wouldn't say that yet. I wouldn't say that we're not going to flip one of those guys in Stone or Franklin. I doubt it, but or even Collins. But the fact of the matter is, man, that we're coming off a 5-7 season as well. Okay, and I think that I don't care who you are, we got to show it on the field. We got to win. And DJ, you brought up a great point, right? Like it's hard, man. You've got 2 new coordinators. You've got more new position coaches. You've got over 40 different players on this roster that are new to the team. So the continuity, everything is going to have to get together quickly, and you're going to have to see it, but the good news is that if they do play well, it's not about, I think it's less about the record and more about how they perform. Right. So I'm not saying if they go 5-7 again, they're going to get a top 5 class like they did this year. But I think that if you see them go 8-4, and they play well and they don't get me wrong. He says, we suck at recruiting, but we're going 10-2.
My man.
I like that.
Let's get on the fan. Let's get some positivity going here.
For real, brother. I like that.
Well, it's also – go ahead, Jess. Sorry.
No. At the end of the day, we've got to win football games. And if we winning will help our recruiting, hands down, bottom line.
I was going to say, too, it's also – oh, go ahead, Bishop.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, DJ.
I was going to say it's also about recruits identifying where they fit in the scheme of things. Like, do I fit in this offense well? Can this offense, get me to the next level, get me noticed? Can I fit here? It's not just about landing the big names. It's about putting them in the schemes themselves on both sides of the football.
That's it, man.
And also just in addition to just win-loss records, it's presenting a program they want to be a part of. Because last year, if you're a high school recruit looking at that, that's not something you want to be a part of. Let's just be real. It didn't look like a good time.
Right.
It was a mass
while
exodus,
it is different, there is, obviously it's a completely
There's been a ton of changes. But now you got a chance to prove on the field that those made a difference. Right. And then you have a much better case. Like, we're doing a great job considering what last year was, but eventually 100%. You got to play games and win games.
100%.
I agree. Let's go ahead and keep it rolling here as we've got a jam-packed show tonight here on the Six Ring Canes. We're bringing on another legend in the game.
He's the legend in the game.
The legend. Excuse me, my man. It's coming from Blue. I gotta go with that. You know what I mean? The legend.
My man, Blue. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today, man? Appreciate you having me on, man.
Good man, good man.
I know it's been a crazy week for a lot of us that are that put on these shows, man. The YouTubers. Shout out to everybody, and we'll get some more on the show later tonight. Some guys that do a really good job, and Coach, you do a really good job. I know you had something popping yesterday. I mean, this is wild, man. Like games, the season is here. Game week is here. We got some bulletin board material out there with Miami of Ohio. I think it's funny, right? Like I love it. I think it's funny. I don't get too crazy about it, but some people get hot. Some people get hot over it, man. This is a brand new team, right? You got over 40 different, new players. You got new coordinators. You got new position coaches. You got a lot of new, but you got a lot of good as well, right? So, we put this all together. It could be special. Do you think that stuff like that, bulletin board material, and I'll get right to it, right? Like, is that something that you can see this team use to their advantage to go out there and prove a point that, this is not the 5-7 team. This is not your older teams that don't know how to rise to the expectations and kind of, talk back or hit back when someone tries to trash talk them a little bit. And I know it's silly to say, right? Oh, nobody cares about that, but the players care. Sometimes they want to prove a point. How does that factor into this team, you think, as a whole?
I mean, I'll say this. I think for the older Canes, right, people who got a little gray in their beard, we get more upset about it because we know what we were, right? And that, like I said on the show the other night, where I'm tired of people, like when I wear a Cane shirt, I don't want nobody laughing at me. I want them to be like, that's right, baby. And these players that we're getting today, as we all know, they weren't even born in the old ones. You know what I mean? These kids are born in 05, 06 now at this point, these incoming freshmen. And so they don't truly know. Yeah, they look at the 30 for 30s and they look at the this and the that, but it doesn't hit home for them, I don't think, the way it does for us, because we were alive and we were engulfed in the Miami Hurricanes with, of the greats. You know what I'm saying? And nowhere in from 01 back, I don't think any group of 5 program or, one of these programs we play, I'll call them doormat teams, deep team one, would have ever come out and had the audacity to even say it, because their coach would have said, don't fire up these Canes. Their coach would have been mad, like, hey, man, like, relax, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already know it was going to be a whooping, but we don't want a real butt whooping. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to give them bulletin board material just because of that. I mean, I had a good friend of mine that played at Florida State, and I'll say this not because it's Florida State, but this was actually said. He would say Bobby Bowden would tell them, don't give the Canes any more momentum than they need with things that you say, because he knew a lot of them were neighborhood buddies. Of course, there was no social media like that at that time, but, don't be calling them on the phone, telling them we're going to kick your butt and all that stuff. Like, this is the great Bobby Bowden saying, like, whoa, hold up. There's already a fire over there. Don't make it an inferno.
Especially the kickers shouldn't have said anything either. So
definitely, right. And so that's where I think the thing is, and again, I know Coach Cristobal does a good job. These players know who he is, where he comes from, his legacy, and so forth. But I think they need to take and I'm just speaking because I'm not in the building, but they need to take a real trip down memory lane and sit and watch these games, like on the Friday night before a game, team meeting, instead of watching the movie. Go back and watch the old game. Like, just put the game on and let them see how they play. Just that's the movie for the night.
Go watch that Miami-Oklahoma game.
Yeah, and just let them watch and say, man, like, just watch. Right. And just sit and see, because highlights and clips and snippets say one thing, but when you get a chance to watch the entire game and you just watch the momentum shift and we just take the heart out of people, maybe that may light a fire. I don't know. Maybe they do that. I don't know. But I was just saying, to answer your question, is bulletin board material, yeah, it should help our players, but I don't think they get as pissed off as we do, because we have something to compare it to. I hope that answers the question.
Let's talk about something real. How are we going to get Noah Grubb down here?
I don't know, man. That's your boy Balin. That's his guy, man. So Balin, that's his he trains him. So Noah Grubb, Mike, what is he, a 26 kid, I believe,
26 kid who put up 8 touchdowns. And the other night, guys, you got to understand, they played a game the other night in Orlando that was no overtime, was 76-61.
Yeah, Noah Grubb. I think he's at what, Lake Mary, if I'm not mistaken.
Lake Mary.
Yeah. So I've had a chance to meet him and stuff, and I know Balin is a big Miami guy. He's a huge Miami guy. So hopefully
he's the dude. I'll tell you what. I watch him. He's confident. He actually is at one of the Miami camps. So
okay.
And they liked him, and he talked. But he's a guy definitely, and I know there's a lot of recruiting going on in Central Florida. A lot of kids. Miami kind of fired some shots with some kids, and I think it's good. You know as well as I do. That's if you're really something up there, you go in Florida. I mean, it's just 2 hours away, and so
yeah, it's a Florida State push. But Florida is really the main deal here. So far as in Orlando,
like UCS Power 5 now.
I was just about to say. So what's really going to throw a wrinkle based on how UCF does in this conference this year, and that will really be a stinger because they picked up the young man, I forget his name, the D lineman from Osceola.
They got the
John
running
Wood.
back,
the
number 1 2026 kid in Tavion Swint.
Yeah, but they got John Wood was the D tackle from Osceola. He stayed home
this year. You mean?
No, last
Walker,
year.
John Walker.
John Walker. I'm sorry, John Walker. How could I miss Johnny Walker? Right.
Yeah, either way.
And then the other young man that played defensive end that went to Oklahoma, he just transferred back
LeBlanc,
to UCF.
Yeah, he's
Derek LeBlanc. Yeah. So if they do well in the Big 12 this year and they're very competitive, that may be another wrinkle in the recruiting, haps for for the Canes, Florida State, Miami.
Yeah, I agree. I think people used to snuff them off and say, "Hey," but you can't do it anymore because this year they got Oklahoma and they got Oklahoma State and TCU and Baylor, so it's not just one team or not. But the thing about Miami recruiting, though, and we were just talking about it, coming away with a Zaquan Patterson, the kid from Chaminade, and having an opportunity to, they've always tapped into the inner city, and I think Randy's kind of tried to stop that at FSU, but he hasn't because now the reason why Miami does so well, I think, still is your inner city people like Roland Smith and Ice Harris. We excuse me, Jazz and I sat next to Ice Harris at the scrimmage at Hard Rock, and I mean, I don't have to tell you, one of the better coaches that we've had. And but I did want to tell you because I got to get going in a second. How about Norland? Jesus,
man! So they came in late. And matter of fact, I was coaching that team when they had Chris. I was at Norland. We came up to play Chris Rainey.
Oh, I know.
And man, Chris Rainey took that first one. Man, when I said that dude was super fast, man, he was. Woo, he was blazing. And they had Ahmad Black, all of those guys. And again, that's another Florida push, right? Lakeland, that Polk County area. Glade area is a big Florida push. So they get a lot of guys there and they have a lot of alumni in the area. So yeah, definitely, man, Blue and guys like we gotta win some games. I heard you guys talking about it. If in order for us to be in the run for some of these Central Florida guys and to start coming into this Gator country and kind of getting out west into Tampa to the Seminole country, we got to win ball games, bro.
Yep. I think at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. You'll get, the guys like the Franklins and Scotts and whoever else it is, to not only, look, we're in the room and we're in the room legitimately now, right? There's no more the throwing of the hats and all that crap. Like, this is legitimate because you got a guy like Mario who's accustomed to doing it against, when he was at Oregon, against all the teams in the Pac-12 and SEC, but then when he was in Alabama as well, right, doing it all day in the SEC. So he's used to it. It's just a matter of now. You can't go 5-7. You got to win some games, and even the ones that you lose, you got to look all right, man. You got to look good, doing it for it to kind of keep going and the momentum kind of change and say, hey, these guys got something going on over there. They're special. They're going to be better next year. Just now you're talking about year 3 under the
right.
And so it could happen. I wanted to kind of, we talked a little bit about recruiting, and we mentioned Zaquan Luke Nickel and Malachi, obviously in 2026. What this season, and again, and going back to winning football games, this season is going to be a tricky one, right? Because the talent may be there, the record may say something a little bit different, right? It may say 7-5, it may say 8-4, it could say 9-3, whatever you want. But the point is, like, it's not only about the result, it's about the way we play. How do you feel? We started in February. We watched them kind of do their recruiting, the spring football. We saw summer, fall camp, training camp. Now we're there. Now it's game time. From that point to this point now, have you seen this team grow into, something that could potentially, be special very soon? How do you feel how this 2023, 2024 season is going to shape out for Miami?
Well, I'm a guy, man. I like to see the product, and as my first year, I didn't give a record prediction. This year, I did give a record prediction of 7-5, just because I didn't know a lot about Shannon Dawson and Lance Guidry. Right? I just be honest, I didn't. I had to do like everybody else. Let me get on the Googler and find out who these guys are and what they've been doing. That's, to be very honest, right? I just, so much football out there. It's not like NFL, the same 32 teams, but here, you had to find out who these guys are. I will say this. Shannon Dawson, through his media deal where he's been talking, and he did the Josh Pate interview, and he's done several interviews. He's saying the right things, bro. I really enjoy listening to him from a coach's perspective, using a coach's ear. I'm listening to him, and I'm listening to what he's saying. Of course, I'm listening to the players, but even players, right? They're going to always, man, this is the best guy ever. This is the best guy ever. But at the end of the day, we're going to find out when you get on the gridiron and how they relate to one another. Like I said, I haven't heard much from Lance Guidry so far as a media tour. He hasn't done as much as Shannon Dawson, but we'll see. We've been hearing a lot of good stuff from these players. A lot of guys talking about how they're going to play fast and this, that, and the other. But I have to say this: we heard that last year. With of course, we can't ever take it away from them, but we heard that in the Charlie Strong, in the Kevin Steels, and the Adias, and so forth. We're at the point right now where we have to put it on the field. This is year 2 for Coach Cristobal, but it's kind of like 1A, 1B, like year 1A, year 1B. He came in, he had a plan. That coaching staff didn't necessarily, maybe the chemistry wasn't right. It didn't mesh well together. And so he kind of went on the other end of the spectrum and said, hey, let me go with some G5 guys and let me get this going. So we'll find out. But I do think that the Miami Hurricanes has enough talent year in and year out to be very competitive and always have a name in the ACC title. I have to be very honest. We have the kind of talent. We just have to put it together. Because I've always said this, Blue. If I took the Miami Hurricanes and put them on the yellow cheese wagon and take any other team in the ACC and put them on the yellow cheese wagon and take them to trash pile and let them play a pickup game, Miami Hurricanes win their hands down. Just let them go out there and play.
Culture.
They win their hands down. They win their hands down. Now, how do we translate that from pickup, like, sandlot football to organized Power 5 ball? The coaches got to get on the same page. We got to be able to manage the kids. We got to be able to understand the scheme and so forth. And I say that to say we have the athletes. Now we got to put the coaching with the athletes. And we literally can be an ACC championship winner. We can, year in and year out. We can.
So what I'm hearing, Coach, is that you are changing your 7-5 prediction, and we're going 12-0 this year. I like it, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we do on the show. We get, these legends.
So positive today. So positive today.
You caught me. But I would not be surprised. I have to be very honest. I would not be surprised if they exceed my expectation. I'm only looking at it because of what I don't know, right? So I'm leaving a little buffer in there on these guys so far from a coaching perspective. Bro, I know. Like I saw Cam Kitchens play. I've seen James Williams play. I've seen these guys play. We definitely know Reuben Bain can play. We've seen Najee Kelly play. I mean, if you think about across the board, we've seen Mark Fletcher play. Henry Parrish, not a slouch. We know Tyler. Are we going to get Tyler Van Dimes or Tyler Van Dam? I don't know. Like, these are the type of things that we there's so many what ifs, but we know, as you use the word potential, means you haven't done it yet, but the potential is oozing off this team. We got to now take it from potential to boom. And we've literally only had, I hate to say it like this, but being honest, Cam Kitchen's the only dude that's taking the potential tag off.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Leonard Taylor. I mean, bro, think about these guys coming out. Nobody else in the ACC has had guys. I may have a couple, but I'm just saying the number one safety in the country with the number 2 or 3 defensive tackle in the country. That this person, you know, we could rip Manny Diaz about it, but they got here for whatever reason, COVID year, whatever, but they're here. Yeah. And long story short, we got them. Now, why are they not shining? And 24 might have been, if you look at that list, he might have been down here on that list. This is not a knock, but I'm just saying so far as the accolades of coming in off a recruit. And he's the one that's shining above everybody else, you know?
Awesome. Coach Hayes, man, you know I always love it when you come on, man. I know we got a big one for you next week. And I'll send you an email with all my info. So
all right, so real quick, hey, I want you to invite all these guys on. As you guys may or may not know, I do the YouTube takeover. We do an 8-hour show, Blue. I sit in this chair for 8 hours. So we're gonna do it for the Texas A&M game. I'm only asking that you come on for a few minutes, you know, kind of like this, maybe about an hour. We talk about positions or whatever. But all of you guys are invited. You're more than welcome, man. We just want to get together and just show the guys that we are supporting them. And yeah, we're gonna do a whole shift on the show. That's how we're gonna do it, man.
I'm excited about it. This will be year 3 or year 2 for me.
It'll be the third year. Yeah, definitely.
So I'm excited.
That's
about
crazy.
It. Yeah, it's fun.
What do you like AG Wasim now, or you're
I got him beat by miles. AG not ready for it, man. We start off with Alabama and 2 Texas A&M, so we haven't won one yet. Maybe I'm the bad luck. Maybe I got to stop doing these.
Coach, man, we appreciate you coming
I'm sure we would have beat Alabama if you had just not done the show.
Not just not done the show.
Hey, totally would have beat Alabama.
Hey, between me and Coach Coop, man, we just killing the program here, man.
Oh man, Coach Coop is coming on later.
Coach Coop's coming all over it, watching about his diss track and the reaction to it.
I love it, man. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach.
Yes, sir. Bye now.
I think Blue, you also
Blue, I know you got to get going, right?
Right now, yeah, I do.
Got number 1 picks to interview and stuff. It's nonsense. Getting big time here.
I do lesser guys too, so it doesn't matter. I just had I talked to somebody you know. I have a mutual friend, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'd love to do it." And
listen, whenever you want to get on a former Division II, college closer at Barry University, just let me know. He's just a phone call away.
Did you play with that guy Owens, the pitcher?
No, I got in right after Henry Owens. I was there right after him. Yep.
Wow. The Red Sox guy? The Red Sox pitcher? The former Red Sox pitcher?
Yeah. Marlins, Red Sox.
Yeah.
He's got more jerseys than a freaking manufacturer.
He was actually a catcher in high school in his first year at Barry, and then he turned into a pitcher.
He was supposed to be really good too.
You know, the guy who before I go, you know, he does that Channel 7 he's the helicopter guy on Channel 7. God dang, Ralph Rayburn. His son. His son pitched there and then was with the Washington Nationals.
Yep.
And now he's a cop. I saw him.
I think it was Ryan Rayburn, if I'm not mistaken.
Ryan Rayburn, right?
Ryan Rayburn, yeah. I remember.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you guys on Friday. Are you coming up to the press box or no?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, we'll talk. All right, guys, thank you.
Take it easy, Blue.
All right, guys, thank you.
From one, hey, listen, man, I gotta, of course I'm going to the press box, man.
I got it because you told me why you go into the press box sometimes, but we'll leave that alone. But bring on our next guest who's been patiently waiting backstage.
Yes.
And apparently knew you guys were going to be talking baseball because he came adored his sick ass Miami baseball hat.
You know what, bro? I got you, bro. Vamos, dale. Let's go, bro. Let's go. I had it right here. I had it ready for you.
Same hat and everything.
Same hat, baby. Same hat.
Nice.
Bro?
It's in the other room, but I'm going to get up and go get it, man.
From one legend to the other, Mr. John. What's up, John? What's going on, buddy?
I'm good, brother. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. Can't complain.
This game week, we've had Coach Hayes on. We've had Lex. We've had Mel. We've had who else have we had? We got Coach Coop coming up soon. What's up, Coach?
Max. You forgot Max.
oh yeah, that guy, Max. Yeah, we had
who kept calling Flo.
Yeah, I don't know. You know that guy Max, right? Who? Yeah, that's right. Blue kept calling him Flo. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Just gonna let it go.
They get for putting Flo in all their show names and everything.
Max came on with a full head, full beard, glasses on, hat backwards. He was ready. It was like game.
It was game. He came showed up game ready.
Oh man. Speaking of, listen, man, we've been talking about it ad nauseum at this point, right? Like it's game week. Everybody's hyped up. There's bulletin. That's what we were talking about with Coach Hayes now. Bulletin board material with Gabbert, clowning and talking crap. And for me, it's funny, but I know that you don't take that very, very nicely, very kindly. And I heard you last night on the show. You were not a happy camper. And I think that maybe you should kind of elaborate a little bit on your hatred towards banter and other teams kind of calling us out, especially a team like Miami of Ohio, considering they are the real Miami, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, everybody's heard of them, and they have this major brand that's so recognizable. There was a time where if you talk crap about Miami, it was like, vaya con Dios, like rest in peace. That was the nail in the coffin. You were done on Saturday. I miss those days, and I would like to get back to that. But it's become all too normal, the crap talking back and forth. It gets to a point where you're like, you're coming into our house. Like, that shit ain't gonna fly.
Listen, I hope that they use it like how they used to use it back in the day, right? Oh, okay. Well, now we got something to prove. Let's go out there, and put a 50 burger on you. I think that, look, Vish, I'm not saying Vish is in the minority here, because I kind of feel like Miami is going to kick their ass to a certain extent. But if you obviously, we listen to Lex, we're going 12-0, possibly national championship and all. So DJ, a little more cautiously optimistic, went the 7-5 route. So he's probably on the more realistic side of the spectrum here. But the truth is, this is a team that's got a lot to prove. It's got a lot to learn as well. It's a new team. It's, and when I say new, it's, over 40 different players. We've got, new coordinators. We've got a lot of cohesion that needs to happen. And this is the kind of stuff that doesn't happen overnight. But now you bring in a team like Miami of Ohio, who's obviously a little bit better than a Bethune or one of these lower tier teams that could really, and Flo said this earlier today, right? Like this game could really show you what Miami's about this year, because not necessarily because it's, we're playing FSU game 1 or we're doing something like that, but you have the potential of getting punched in the mouth early because, hey, this is a new team. We don't know what we're going to get yet. Or are they going to come out and just, destroy them? I mean, there's a lot of ifs, but there's a lot of exciting stuff about it as well. How do you see this game going? And then we'll kind of talk about season per se, but this game in general, do you feel like this is going to be close? This is going to be something that they're going to be able to pull out, third, fourth quarters when they're going to kind of get away, they're going to kind of, separate themselves. How's your feeling on this game?
I have a feeling it's going to go a lot like the Toledo game in 2017 that we fell behind at half. I think it was like 16-10 at half or something. We were down, and we started chipping away little by little. We scored, then we took the lead, and we scored another touchdown, and before you knew it, we were up like 3 touchdowns, like pulling away. So we were nervous in the first half for sure. I remember halftime at that game. It was tense in the crowd, but no, and then we pulled away. So I got a feeling it's going to kind of go like that. I hope we just come out of the gate like, ready to go, and it's like you blink and it's 17-0 Canes. I'm hoping that's the case. What I'm really hoping is that the starters by the fourth quarter are not even in the game anymore. That would be ideal. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I definitely think not only we can win this game, but we can pull away. At at the very least, take care of the football. Don't shoot yourselves in the foot a bajillion times like we've been known to do in certain games. You'll win this game. Don't shoot yourself in the foot and throw in a handful of big plays, a couple turnovers forced, a couple long passes, a couple long runs. We'll blow them out. It shouldn't be that hard. The main thing is avoiding shooting yourself in the foot.
You know, Vish, you're going to have to tell him how you really feel about this Miami of Ohio game, because I feel like he's just too cautiously optimistic for this game, Vish.
No, we're going to kick their ass. It's not going to be competitive. They're not good. Like, I don't know where I get it.
I hope so.
We all have PTSD, and I get it. But, like, objectively, if you changed another program of our caliber and put a team's logo on there that was not the team that lost to Middle Tennessee last year, I think our analysis would look different. I think we have PTSD from some of the stuff that happened last year. Because not only were we not good, we looked terrible pretty much the entire year, even when we were winning games. But it's a new season. I'm looking at Miami of Ohio. I don't see anything there that threatens me. Their quarterback's running his mouth. I don't know why. I mean, I think this is not going to be a challenging game. I think we're going to kill him.
I think if you saw a video of him saying it, I think the minute he said it, he kind of caught himself and goes, "Oh crap." You know, that's my thought. I feel like that's what he did. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, he said it confidently." I'm like, I don't think he said it that confidently. I think he said it and he caught himself and he's like, "Oh crap." I like to think that that's the case, because if we go out there and we smoke them, that's going to feel real good. Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. I know some people are upset about it. This 16.5-point spread, a little bit insulting, man. Like, it should be a 3-touchdown spread at the very least. But I think we're not the only ones that have PTSD on this one. So I totally get that with that sense. Moving to another question that I have for you, John. You know, we spoke about this a lot. We spoke about, you know, this team, seeing this team kind of grow, seeing this team change from, you know, signing day to now to, you know, well, and everything in between, spring football and the summer workouts. And you see this team and you're like, wow, this team is huge. Getting off the bus, you can kind of confuse them for an SEC team and all this. And then, of course, training camp, and now training camp's over. And now we're prepping for game one. This is game week. You know, the season outlook, right? We've all kind of given our outlook on, you know, how we feel from a record perspective. But how do you feel about this team right now? Like, if you have to look at everything that they've kind of gone through with the 2 new coordinators, with, you know, with all the new transfer portal guys and recruits, you know, what's your outlook? What's your overview on what this team is going to look like this year?
Oh, much improved, because a big change that Mario wanted to make is, and I think we didn't want to believe it at first, but he came in pretty much right away and said, not so many words, that like, I got to make this team bigger, faster, and stronger. Like, we're not big enough, we're not athletic enough. This needs to get improved. And I don't think we wanted to believe it at first, but you know, he's right, especially at positions like linebacker, corner in some cases, receiver in some cases. We just were not, you know, they weren't Miami caliber athletes like they used to be. And I'm not even talking like perfect season 2001. I mean, you can go back to like maybe 2005. You know, you had NFL guys in every room, you know what I'm saying, in every position group. So I think he's trying to, at least the body type and the athletic profile, trying to get it back to that. So you'll see a difference there. You'll see much more speed on special teams, much more sideline to sideline speed on defense. What I'm concerned of is, especially in game number 1, is the offensive line gelling, the defense gelling, because a lot of these guys haven't played together yet. So that's the only thing that concerns me a little bit. Again, first half. You know, I'm not saying we're going to, you know, lose the game because of it. We shouldn't. I mean, but, you know, that's, I would say if we get off to a bit of a sloppy start in a few games this year, it could be because of that, you know, that chemistry over time needs to be built. So that's really my only concern. And also, honestly, yeah, I think we're going to be improved. But long term, I've been saying since Mario got hired, this is a 5-year thing. before we can get to the point where we can consider ourselves like title contenders. You got to back to back those top 10 to top 12 recruiting classes. We're still a bit of a ways away, but I'm excited to see what this team can be. We added some weapons on offense, a few on defense. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun, man. I was, earlier I was kind of trying to convince myself of a lot of things, and I thought to myself, like, I feel like this team is the type of team that as soon as they hear the pads cracking, I think that it's just gonna switch on, and I think that's a credit to Mario Cristobal and this staff. That kind of lights a fire under their ass. I think this is going to be a little bit of a different team in that aspect. I don't think they're going to be the type of team that, and we know that a lot of people talk about this and say this a lot, but that is going to wilt when they get punched in the mouth, right? When they get knocked down, I think this is a team that's going to get right back up and keep talking trash and go right back at you. So, and I think that a lot of that has to do with the defense. I think this defense is going to be mean. I think it's going to be aggressive. I think it's going to be tough to deal with because they're going to send so many guys all the time. They're going to be, fresh. They're going to have – I feel like our defense is too deep legitimately, and so it's going to be fun to see that. I got to ask you before you get out of here, John, 2 questions. Your score prediction and then who scores the first touchdown for the Canes?
All right. I'm going to stick with the same prediction I've had since last week. 44-23 Miami. Okay. I think we cover the spread.
Vish likes that one. Vish likes that. He likes that.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know about the 23 points. That feels a lot, but I'll take covering the spread and 3 touchdowns.
I could see our defense making a couple of mental errors and couple leaks in the dam, if you will. I could see that happening maybe a couple of times, but it could be in garbage time. I see us winning by 3 touchdowns. Who will score the first touchdown? That was the other question.
Yeah.
I see AJ Allen on maybe like the first drive on like a 15-20 yard little scamper to the end zone.
We got three running backs already that we've mentioned that are going to score the first touchdown. I say Parrish. I think Blue had Fletcher. You have AJ Allen. I love it. That goes to show you this running game is going to be nasty. It's going to be scary, man. I think it's going to be one of the top running games, and definitely in the ACC and potentially, in the country, a top 20, top 25 rushing team. So I'm pretty excited about that. Very cool, man. Very cool. You're going to be out there on Friday, I assume. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I will be there for sure.
Cool, baby. Vish will be out there. Blue will be out. We'll all be out there. So we're looking forward to it. We'll definitely hang out. We're all green lot guys. So should be fun. I'll see you tomorrow, though.
Yes, you'll be on my show tomorrow, so I'll see you.
Yeah, go ahead and plug your show before we get out of here. I don't know that we've actually it's his name on the screen, but I don't think we've actually given it the space to. It's one of the best Canes YouTube shows that people aren't aware of it. Go ahead and plug it.
Thank you. If you're not aware of it, if you're not following already, Cafecito and Canes, I do live streams, 2 to 3 times a week. I will be doing one tomorrow with Jazz, kind of just previewing Miami of Ohio, maybe going a little bit more in depth, maybe talking a little bit recruiting, or we could go off on a totally different tangent. Who knows? It's kind of we talk all things Canes on my show.
I'll wear a different hat.
All right.
We'll coordinate.
Sounds good, man. All right, brother.
All right, John. Thanks a lot, man. We'll see you.
Thanks, John.
Okay. Thanks.
We got look. So we're gonna finish it off with two newbies, but definitely family, right?
Yeah, and definitely not newbies to the audience.
Not newbies to the audience, but newbies to the show, to the program, as my good friend Mark Hockman used to say, to the program.
Although Melissa is one of our hosts, and she's so like on all over shows with these two. It's almost like by osmosis they've been on the show, even though technically they have not.
We got a loaded potato on this show. So now I'm really excited to bring on this next guy.
He's one of my favorites.
He's definitely one of our favorites. Big time Canes YouTuber. I mean, we all show love to one another, and we're really excited to have him on the show. And I mean, we should have brought him in with the diss track, though, man. We should have brought you in with Dak.
The diss track is epic.
Yes,
the
sir. There it is.
Look at this. Look at this.
Come on, Canes fans. Where's the hype?
Let's go.
Football going down. Miami Hurricanes playing this Friday.
Come on, I need to see the chat just blowing up. Let's go.
Hey, you know what? We don't give enough credit to the chat. Like, subscribe, hit the like button, smash the like button. We're here for it. Coach Coop is in the building. What's going on, Coop, man?
What's up, man?
Excited to have you on the show. First time, but it won't be the last, man. You're definitely fam. So we appreciate what you do. We love it. We love your show. And, you know, Mel obviously speaks very highly of you. We don't like her too much, but, you know, no, I'm just kidding. We love her. Mel's the best, too. So
Coop's coined the phrase hoodie girl. That is a Coop invention.
I'm trying to figure out how to follow up this star-studded lineup you guys have had tonight. Freaking crazy.
Yeah, man, it's we're really appreciated, you know, all the guys coming on. But listen, man, you're part of that star-studded lineup. So, you know, shout out to you, shout out to everything that you do, man. Listen, you know, this is something that I've been asking everybody, and I definitely want to get your take on it as well. But you know, I know it's game week now, but we've been following this team much longer than just this year. But this is it's a new team, right? Over 40 different players, new coaching staff, really new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, position coaches, a lot of transfer portal guys. So we've seen the change and the growth from February and spring football and summer workouts, and then you're talking about, you know, fall training camp, and now game week is here. Game week is here, baby. And I know there's nobody more excited than you. Trust me, I know that. Talk to me about how you feel about this team coming into game one against, you know, the trash talkers, the bulletin board material Red Hawks over there at Miami of Ohio.
Here's the thing. Let's be real for just a moment. We're the bigger, faster, stronger football team. Period. We are better. Straight up. Now, I'm not saying that Miami of Ohio, and hold on, let's roll it back. I don't even want to give them I don't even want to call them Miami. We'll just call them the Red Hawks. Miami of Ohio, whatever, just the Red Hawks. They don't deserve to have it in the name. I'm not saying that they're a bad football team, but at the end of the day, they are a MAC team. What's interesting is what opposing teams' fans continue to throw in our face, of course, is Middle Tennessee. It's always, well, you lost to MTSU, so you, as you said, new OC, new DC, a lot of turnover, coaches and players. I'm not saying we're going to come out firing on all cylinders in game one. I expect, just like a lot of other people probably do, some first game jitters. You can practice it as much as you want, but it's a little different when you're under the lights and it's not other guys in orange and green on the other side of you, right? But I think that we take care of business, honestly, no problem. I think we're hovering around a 16.5 point to 17.5 point favorite. I think there's some money to be made there if you're a betting person. I've got us winning by about 21. I've got us winning. Actually, I got my board right here. 38-17, kind of conservative though. I had a lot of people pretty upset about this. They're wanting to see me put, 40, 50 plus points. I'm going kind of conservative in this first game though, because again, everything right now is on paper and it's only been us scrimmaging and practicing against ourselves.
Right.
So everything coming out, it's going to be, we're looking good. Everything's amazing. It's awesome. Like, I got to see it first this year.
I like it.
Yeah, look, I gotta see it also, right? We've been talking about, like, they just gotta win. They just gotta win some games. They gotta look pretty decent, even in defeat. They gotta look pretty decent, right? And so for everything to kind of, get together and from a recruiting perspective, from just everything in general, I think. Oh, look at we got another legend in the chat.
Well. Look who it is.
What a show, man! What a show! Shout out to Flo. Appreciate the love, man. Another fan there. We appreciate it. We've had half the Flow team on here too. So shout out to all those boys over there. So
Blue thought we did have Flow on, so
yeah, right. Blue kept calling Max Flow. Unbelievable, man. You nailed it on the head, and I think we've been talking about that so much, about how it's gonna take a little bit of time, but I think that this is the type of team, right? Mario's putting together a team that is not going to take crap from anybody. It's not going to, they're not going to. Yeah, we got Mr. Chalupa Batman on the show coming up in about 10 minutes as well. So, look, for me, this is a different team, man. This is a different mentality that I think Coach Cristobal has been trying to instill for the last couple of years. You get punched in the mouth, you get right back up, and you punch right back, right? And I think that you saw last year a lot of the guys that aren't here this year not do that. And so it's going to be a different mentality. It's going to be a different football team where as soon as those pads start to crack, even against the Red Hawks. By the way, I have a hard time saying Miami of Ohio too. I don't like it. I don't like when it comes out of my mouth. I'm like, ugh. It's like, ugh. So I got to say the Red Hawks. That's why I said bulletin material, the bulletin board material Red Hawks. I just think as soon as those pads crack, man, it's going to be a different ball game. So I love what you said about that. You know, your season outlook is something else that we've all kind of talked about, our records and what we think is going to happen this year. Vish and I are a little more optimistic than 7-5 DJ down here, but not that much, right? Like we just had a couple different games going our way. We weren't Lex that said 12-0, 12-0, but I'm excited about this season, cautiously optimistic still. What's your take on the season outlook, though, as far as this? It's a tough schedule because you got the 4 non-conference games, and then you got to bye, and then you go straight into ACC play, 8 games in a row. Tough. It's tough. But, there's an opportunity there.
What's interesting is, I spent a couple of minutes hyping us up for the Miami Redhawks game, but I posted my full season prediction about 2 weeks ago, and I'm actually with DJ. I got us at 7-5. And what I want to elaborate here real quick, if I'm allowed to do so, because a lot of people think that me predicting 7-5 is being super negative, and really I'm not. I'm actually pretty optimistic about the direction that the program is headed. I think this season we take a step, but I don't think we take a leap. Now, again, anything could happen, right? It's college football. It's super unpredictable. We're all making these predictions before we've even played a down in the season. I get it. But I'm hovering around 7-5. If you could talk me into 8-4, maybe, depending on how that A&M game goes. But I've got 7-5, and I hate to say it, but right now it's losses in pretty much all the big games.
Yep.
I've got a loss to the Aggies. I've got us losing to North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, and Louisville is what I've got officially.
I think that's exactly what I had too, honestly.
So I'm right there with you. And again, that's the thing is, there is improvement if we're talking purely just wins and losses. And also you have to think about the way that we lose those games.
Yep.
If you tell me 7-5, but we only lose to Clemson by 7 points, that's a pretty big step forward if you really think about it. But what I really want to see this season is I would love to see Mario Cristobal walk away with a signature win this year. Because last year, what's everybody remember Mario Cristobal and the Canes for?
MTSU.
The loss to MTSU. He got a signature loss, and he's never going to be able to live that down, no matter what else. In the future, we could win a national championship 2 years from now, and everybody's going to say, remember that time the Canes lost to MTSU? It's always going to be thrown in our face. So if Mario wants to win over some fans a little bit and boost this morale, don't get it twisted. We need to make sure first that we win the games we're supposed to be winning. That's one of the most important things. Like, we need to be blowing out the Red Hawks and Bethune-Cookman, and we shouldn't even be in the same sentence as Georgia Tech, schools like that. But if Mario could get a signature win and win one of those games that we weren't expected to win, honestly, North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, a bigger game like that, it would be huge in winning over some fans, in my opinion.
And you know what? Even with those 5 losses, you still got them beating a really good team in NC State, right? That's a solid team over there, right? Vish would have to disagree with you about Texas A&M. He is, look,
don't do it.
He won't admit it, but that's his hometown team.
That's not my hometown team.
See, my thing is,
I was just born there. That is not. I wasn't home until I moved to Miami. I was homeless. I was adrift.
My thing is I understand the argument, and it makes sense. If you look at, we only lost 17-9. Literally, if our red zone offense would have been better last year, we would have beat them. But people also forget that they are also practicing. They're also working on improving. So they could be a much better football team this season too. I'm not buying the hype with Jimbo. I'm not a Jimbo guy. Yeah. I don't think Texas A&M's a national championship caliber team or anything like that. But people are only looking at one side of it. They got the cane shades on. They're drinking the Kool-Aid. And I'm trying to be a little more neutral and just honest and realistic. And until Miami shows me that they can consistently beat SEC teams, it's been way too long since we last did that. What, like a decade? The last time we beat, I think it was the Gators, maybe.
Yeah.
So I got to see it, man. I just can't. I treat these predictions like I'm putting my life savings on it. And if you wanted me to bet that we're beating A&M week 2, I just can't do it. I can't.
Listen, if we come back after A&M and we beat them like 30-10, we're gonna have Coop on the show and he's gonna be going.
I'll do it.
It's gonna be awesome, and I love it. I'll take it. I'm gonna bring Eric McLean back on the show like we did last year after Clemson. If we win, only if we beat Clemson this time.
We brought Eric McLean on after A&M last year and talked about how good we actually are, and we're gonna bring you on for Clemson. He's like, yeah, that's gonna be like for the ACC championship, and then we did not call Mr. McLean. By the time we got to that part of the season, we're like, you know what?
One thing people don't understand is if you have like a platform, you guys understand here, you got this channel and the podcast and the shows and all that. If you predict a loss and you're a Canes fan, this should go without saying, but we want to be wrong.
Absolutely.
I want to go 12-0. I want to win a national championship. But also, we're trying to build credibility here, right? Like we want to show that, we got some football knowledge. And again, taking a step back and just looking at it neutral, setting the Canes pride to the side. But if you want me to speak with, my Canes pride, oh, yeah, I'm with Lex. I'm 12-0. Natty every year, right?
I'm glad Lex is giving all of us cover because whatever we say, he's like on another extreme. So it's just like, you know what? At least they're not Lex.
I like Lex. Lex is a good dude.
Lex is awesome,
man. He's awesome. One last thing before we get you out of here, and of course we want to plug your show and everything that you got going on, man. But who scores the first touchdown for the Canes Friday?
Man, didn't you guys say it's been pretty much all running backs that everyone has predicted?
A lot of running backs, yeah.
I zagged when everyone else zigged. I have a pick 6 from Daryl Porter, so I went off the board.
Okay.
I have Colby Young for mine.
You got Colby Young?
Yeah,
okay, I was going to say,
mostly running backs, yeah.
I like to be a little different. I'm going to say, and I don't even know how much playing time he's going to get game 1, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and I'll say Tyler Harrell. I'll say he just burns one of those corners and leaves them in the dust and just turns on the Jets. Big touchdown. We're talking like
a 65-yard.
Yeah, breaks one off. I'm talking big time. Yeah, I'll be honest. I wanted to go with the security blanket with Restrepo because again, they still got that connection. But I'm gonna go outside the box and say Tyler Harrell.
I think someone had Tyler Harrell for kick return earlier. So.
Yeah, someone had in the chat. We had a couple of.
Melissa at least mentioned Harrell on her segment, right?
She mentioned, she said
she's a huge Tyler Harrell, the slant to Harrell. She's always calling it. So
that's on your. You should plug all that stuff you do, but that's on your gameplay, right? So
yeah, I gave her a shout out in the diss track. It has the line with Hoodie Girl, something's a slant to Harrell, 3-stripe apparel. So.
I'm waiting for the A&M diss track. That is like straight into my veins on that one. So I'm anxiously awaiting next week.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
I mean, I need it, man. I need it.
Where can they find you? Coop? Talk to me, man.
What you can do, just go to YouTube, type in Coach Coop. You'll probably see a thumbnail of me in a garbage can or burying a cardboard cutout of Manny Diaz. That's normal, standard, everyday type of content that you'll see from me. And that's about it, man. We just have fun. The thing is, some people take this super serious, and, I vent and I get heated and stuff because I'm a diehard Canes fan, but I'm on this platform to entertain, to have fun, but also to give some information about the Canes, but I like to deliver it in a unique and different way than a lot of other people do. So that's how we operate. That's what I'm about. Would love to see you guys over there, and make sure you subscribe to this show. I'm always lurking and watching these things. I'm telling you guys, I talk to Melissa a lot. She's like, did you see this? And then I'll fire something back and she'll be like, you were in there? I don't chat a lot. I'm always lurking. I'm always watching.
Appreciate it, man. We appreciate the love. And
absolutely, man.
Listen, if you know anything about us, we don't take ourselves too serious either. If you hear our intro, we say right in our intro, we did not show prep.
Yep.
we show prep to this time, though. We lied. We lied.
Little bit, yeah.
We lied. There was prep. We had to prep.
Too many stars coming on this one. We had to prep a little bit. So.
Hey, because you got Chalupa coming now, right?
He's coming up now. He's on backstage. He's telling me, "Yo, can you get Coop off already?"
I hope I didn't spoil it. I hope I didn't spoil that. But
no, you're good. You're good.
He's ready to come on.
We appreciate you coming on. You're definitely part of the fam, so you're more than welcome to come on anytime, man. And we'll see you. We'll definitely see you out there, Coop.
Appreciate y'all.
You got it.
Go Canes.
Have a good one.
All right, so I think
shout out to Chris Gaffney real quick for that donut. I know you put it up, but I didn't even.
Yeah, but he's got. Yeah, Chris, shout out to you, and he's got some questions. Maybe we can get Chalupa's opinion on this as well.
For sure. What do you all think the record would have been last year if we didn't have any injuries? With that in mind, does a 7 or 8 win season this year show improvement? I love that. We're definitely going to get to that.
That's a very good question.
That's a really good question. Both of them are really good questions. I like it. Let's bring it on. Let's finish the night. Let's finish the night on a high.
The closer's
on. Let's go.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Corey, aka Chalupa Batman? What's going on, man? We appreciate you coming on the show first time as well. And won't be the last time, man, because you like I mentioned to Coop, your family. So we appreciate you coming on. This is a big week, man. So I know everybody's really busy this week, going on different shows and doing different appearances. So we appreciate you coming on, man, and talking a little Kings football with us, man. So welcome to the show.
Thank you guys so much. I'm honored to be on. Ecstatic. I was backstage hype. And I'm always hyped to talk Canes football, especially with you guys. So I'm excited, man. I was excited all day. I was looking at the clock. I was like, all right, about 30 minutes.
It's funny because I was at work and I was like, I got to get out of here and I got to get everything ready. I'm excited. Coming on, and I'm like, Vish, I'm coming on a little early. We got to show prep because I know you heard us now, but we do not. We don't show prep.
We show up like 30
we
seconds
don't on
before.
You Heard either.
You know, why? You know what's the point, man? We already know, so let's just go at it. So look at that, Ian.
We got a policy. We got a policy on You Heard. We say we don't do the show before the show. We don't show prep at all.
No
at all. That's why if y'all see the crazy reactions like that they get, those are genuine.
Absolutely, that's what you want, right? For sure, 100%.
Yeah, you want the real.
Ian Coleman, Chalupa the Don. He says,
"Hey, what's up, Ian?"
Yes, sir. So we got a really right off the bat. We got a really good question. Chris, we appreciate the dono. What you think our record would have been last year if we didn't have, any of the injuries? And with that in mind, does a 7 or 8 win season this year show improvement? Take it away.
I'll leave this.
That's hard to say. The first half of the question. I would imagine a lot of that is towards TVD. If TVD stays healthy, that probably gives you 2 more wins. Just on the offense would have still been in rhythm. I mean, what rhythm we had last year with the offense, but I think we would have probably got maybe 1 or 2 more. But we had issues on the back end on our defense that I don't think our quarterback fixes. So that one's really hard to tell, especially because, you win 1 or 2 of those close games. Momentum is different. The team is feeling different. Maybe they pick up another win they weren't supposed to. Maybe they end up dropping one that they ended up winning. It's that butterfly effect, right? If you step on a twig, you never know what can happen. Yep. So that one's hard to say. I don't think I'd say at least maybe 1 or 2 wins last year if we stay healthy. And the second half of that question, it depends how. If we win 7 games, but it doesn't feel like we had an improvement, you know what I mean? If the offense still felt stagnant all year, if we're still having issues, getting beat on the back end and not learning from mistakes, if it's the same old, but we eke out a couple of more wins this year, I don't think anyone in the fan base is going to call that improvement. I think what we want to see is in the win column, but it's also body language. It's also the flow of the offense, the defense getting off the field. How do they fight adversity? What's going to happen after the first pick six? Are guys pointing fingers, or what happens if they go down 7-0 to Miami of Ohio? Are guys going same old, different day, or is this a new Canes football team? Are we going to see guys go that's last year? We don't got to worry about that. I think what I want to see from this team in terms of improvement is more than just the wins and losses. I want to see a culture shift. We keep hearing that the culture is different. that culture will only be tested by adversity. So I want to see the team go through adversity, and then we will see if there's real improvement, not just 35 to 10 games. Is that culture really different in that locker room?
You bring up a great point. We haven't used that word coach. Coach is a very sensitive word down here in Miami, right? Because you got the Miami Heat. That's the pinnacle of culture, right? But that's exactly what I know Cristobal and that whole entire staff wants to do, wants to kind of embrace, right? Is that culture, and it starts with unfortunately, the truth of the matter is it starts with wins, building that chemistry, those players getting together and doing it right. One thing that drives me crazy a lot of times is when they say, "Man, that team had a lot of chemistry." Well, did they have a lot of chemistry because they won the games, or did they have a lot of chemistry? Like that's a tough one. Like chemistry comes about because you win football games and you go through adversity and you come out as one. And I don't think you're going to see one without the other. So I think it's important that, even in the losses that we come out, as a team and show out either way. If you get curb stopped like by MT, like what happened last year, it's not gonna be good, right? So you got to be able to punch back even when you're down. So, and I think that you hit it on the head. I know Chris, yeah, you mentioned about the 4 starting O linemen. I think that's another thing, right? You had third stringers in there last year. It's tough to keep a quarterback upright when you got those guys as well. So it's a little bit different this year. We can kind of, if we wanted to, we can do a whole show on the offensive line. And
yeah, definitely.
But speaking of this team or just the team as a whole, I've asked this to just about everybody. We've seen this team improve and grow and change, right? With the new offensive coordinator, new DC, new position coaches, transfer portal guys, recruits, yeah, you name it, right? Spring football, summer workouts, training camp, and now we're here, game 1. What do you see the outcome, or just an overview as far as this whole season is concerned? How do you see this team kind of performing, whether it's record wise? I know we mentioned that the record doesn't tell you the whole picture, but what can you see from just a team perspective this whole entire season? How do you see it kind of progressing and moving forward? How do you see this team doing?
I think we are going to see a different team this year. I think we're going to see a hungrier team. I think we got a lot of young guys that feel like, don't tell me about what happened last year, I wouldn't hear. Like, we got a lot of guys that came into this locker room early and hit the ground running with purpose. They're competitive. They all seem to have high football IQ, especially a lot of the incoming freshmen. I think that's a big part of the improvement on the offensive line this year, not just the experience guys, the football IQ up front with guys like Cohen, guys like Matt Lee. I think that's huge. I think we're going to see a team that fights for 4 quarters this year. I think Cristobal had his struggles with what was on the roster last year. I think he weeded out the guys that don't fit the culture, that don't fit his core values. At the end of the day, a college football team is an organization. It needs to run from the top down. Those core values start at the top. But Cristobal don't snap the football. Cristobal don't block. You know what I mean? Cristobal don't play single high safety. So that has to translate on the field. And I think he has the guys in place, the older guys, to help mentor some of the younger guys. But I do think that turnover is why we're going to see a different team. I think we got dogs in this locker room now, whether it's guys like Matt Lee that are tired of being told that because he played at a smaller school, he wasn't as good of a center as somebody else in the country, whether it's Cohen, who was told you were only good because you're on that Bama offensive line, or whether it's a guy like Fletcher who's being told you ruined your career going to Miami. These guys have a chip on their shoulder. Our 2 new coordinators. Y'all don't think Guidry and Dawson have been hearing everyone say they can't do it on this level? This whole team has a chip on their shoulder. They didn't need anything from that quarterback, from the Red Hawks or the Red Birds or the Red Jays or whatever they want to call themselves. I think the team we have in the locker room has a different attitude. I think we're going to see attitude this year, energy, and I think we're going to see a team that fights for 4 quarters. I have us going 8-4, maybe 9-3, but I have us losing unfortunately, North Carolina, but I think this is the last year of that. I think that stops after this year, but I do think they maybe get us this year. Florida State, Louisville, Clemson, but I could see us winning that Louisville game depending on the momentum of the season. I think they start out strong, and I think the defense will set the tone early. I think it needs to. I think we're all going to be holding our breath. That first deep shot, we're all going to gasp just a little bit just to hope everyone's where they're supposed to be. But I think this defense,
man. We got the best safety in America back there. Corey,
he can't do it all though, man. You can put Superman on the Justice
I know.
League, but if you're going against 11, it's hard. You can't just do it with one All-American. Everyone has to pull their weight, and I think they will. I think this team understands there's no hero ball. There is, let me do my job. The guy next to me will do their job. I think holding each other accountable is another huge core value of this team, and we've seen that already. When you hear interviews, you hear the players talking about how someone else told them they weren't getting shallow enough in coverage here or there. The linebackers are already critiquing each other. I think we have a different style of football player in this locker room, and I think it's going to lead to them fighting for 4 quarters. How many times last year did we just feel like, man, like, where is the fight sometimes? Like, no one wants to lose and no one's accepting losing. I'm not saying that, but it's like, I feel like I'm more angry than they are. I don't think we got that this year. I think we got a bunch of people that if you play chess with them right now, they come in to take your head off. Whether that's the incoming freshmen or the transfers, a lot of those guys have a point to prove. AJ Allen has a point to prove. A lot of these guys have chips on their shoulder, and they're being coached by 2 coordinators who have a point to prove, who sit under a head coach who has a point to prove. I think this year.
Oh no, did he freeze on us?
The motto for me, the theme is we are. Sorry about that.
I think you're
so
back.
my theme for the year is show them who we are. Everyone has an idea. They want to bring up Middle Tennessee State and blah, blah, blah. Show them. We don't have to talk. We don't have to give anybody bulletin board material. The whistle gone blow. Just show them who we are for 4 quarters, and eventually all the talk will stop. And I think we have the guys in this locker room, the leaders and the young guys that are hungry enough that we are going to see a different Miami Hurricanes football team in 2023.
I don't know how you cannot be hyped right now for Friday night, man. Like, it's just...
listen, it can't come fast enough.
I'm telling you.
Hey, what's up, Matthew?
Question from Bryce. This is a good question. I think that we should all probably answer this one. But which freshmen are you guys most excited to see get playing time this year? All right, I'm gonna throw out. You can't use Francis Malgoa because he's a starting right tackle.
Okay.
So, obviously he's gonna get the most.
He's pinned in.
He's not going
he's
anywhere.
Permanent markered in.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if he had to choose, we'll start with you first. What you think is some of the freshmen that you're gonna see get some playing time.
Damari Brown early, I believe, if not starting out there for the first snap, we're going to see a lot of Damari Brown out there at corner. The easy answer is Reuben Baines. So I'll stay away from that.
Okay.
I think we'll see Ray get 5 to 7 touches. And I think those touches are going to be important for us during the year. He's our change of pace guy, whether that's on jet sweeps, bubble screens, whether we're running him in a combo route with Tyler Harrell, so Tyler Harrell can clear out, get Ray the ball in space and let him work. I think Ray is someone that'll get a lot of run early. He may not get 10 targets, but I think he touches the ball 5 to 7 times, a couple returns, and as a gadget guy a little bit, because what he has, we didn't have last year. There is no film you can watch on our offense last year that shows you anything that Ray Joseph can do.
Yep, that's true.
So I think it would be crazy for Coach Dawson not to look at his toolbox and see that shiny new thing in there and not at least want to drive the Ferrari just a little bit. So I think we get Ray Joseph, sprinkles of him early, and I think as the season progresses, we'll see more of him. But I think Ray's that guy on offense that can provide a spark. And on defense, I think Damari Brown. I think Damari Brown was the best corner in the class last year. I think Damari Brown is a absolute beast. He's physical, long. He can cover. He can do everything you need from a prototypical one. And he's got his brother out there to rely on, so he's going to be comfortable. He's got veterans in the back end with Kim and James. So I think Damari, putting him out there early, I think we're going to see a lot of him. We'll see 6 quite a bit on Friday, I think.
I like that last one, Mark Fletcher. I'm a big fan. I think Mark Fletcher is going to get a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did I steal your thunder, DJ?
Yeah, I was just thinking Mark Fletcher.
I knew it.
That running back room is going to be so deep. I mean, but at the same time, that running back room is deep, but all of the running backs in said room are too good to sit on the bench and not at least try for a little bit. Play with that shiny new toy like you alluded to. And, I think Mark Fletcher, I mean, I remember watching his high school, highlights, last year, and it was just like, wow. Like, this is a totally different running back than anything Miami has in the running back room at the time. Now they have Fletcher in the fold and, all these other running backs, A.J. Allen, Henry Parrish, this is a very deep room, and I think Mark Fletcher is going to be, a big part of that in short order. I don't think he's going to be a throwaway freshman. I think he's going to make an impact rather quickly.
I think you're going to see multiple running backs on the field at once.
Yeah.
A lot of different formations, but that's Shannon Dawson for you, right? He's going
Mine
to
as
throw.
well, though.
He's going to throw crazy things at you, and that's what I love about what he's going to be able to bring. Vish, I didn't get your take on what freshman you think. And by the way, I do love Damari Brown as well.
Yeah, I feel like all of our freshmen have been listed at this point. I can't really go off the board here, but I would say
like a Josh Horton. Give me like a Josh Horton or something, All
right, Josh Horton. No, but I think Chalupa.
Don't sleep on Horton.
I think the guy we're going to see the most and most consistently, which Chalupa kind of skipped over, obviously is Ruben Bain. He's been making so much noise. He's going to be, other than obviously Mago is starting, but Ruben Bain's kind of the next one up that's probably going to play the most and make an impact right away. If he's not starting, he's like 1A at one of the end positions, is going to play a ton. So, and he has big playability, so it's going to flash. He's going to be noticeable. So
I think you're going to see a lot of stuff that they're going to do with Ruben, like what they did with Rousseau and Phillips, and move maybe Mesidor inside on some types of schemes, and then put Ruben Bain in so that you don't have to take Mesidor out. Because I think the other side, Nigel E. Kelly, is just as talented. I think he's one of the best. He's going to end up being one of the best rush ends in the ACC soon too. So I love what they're going to be able to do with Ruben Bain, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do as a whole. One I wouldn't sleep on. I'm kind of crazy about it, but I wouldn't sleep on Malik Bryant at linebacker. I think that he's
that's a bad boy.
Give him 3 or 4 games, and he's going to get some legit playing time. I mean, I love what KJ Cloyd is doing, and obviously Kiko and Wes, but I think he's going to give those guys a run for the money at linebacker. I think he's the real deal back there too, and some of the other freshmen as well, because they're big enough. They're huge. I mean, this is as good a linebacker group as we've seen in a long time here. And that's not that's the Washington kid, what's his name, Marcellus Pullman, Popo. I mean, yeah, it's fun when you
call
can
them
name,
the Bass Brothers.
You can name them all. Yeah, it's fun when you can name.
I
them
literally,
like, who is it? No,
Pulliam, Popo, and Bryant. I call them the Bass Brothers. They are large human beings. They are large. Another guy I'd like to give a shout out to on the defensive line as a freshman, Jaden Wayne.
Yes.
Jaden Wayne has done nothing but look like a monster from the second he stepped onto Green Tree.
Facts.
I think because of the depth, we may not see him as often early, just because you got Mesidor, you got Bain, you got Kelly, you got Cyrus Moss, who do not sleep on Cyrus Moss, especially in pass rush situations with his versatility and the way he can drop back. Like we saw that a lot during the spring where they were bringing in Cyrus Moss and Wayne on the outside and then dropping them back into coverage and bringing linebackers. I think that's another way you see Malik Bryant too. He was used as a rush end a little bit in high school. He's got crazy versatility. I just think what the young toys that they have this year, like what I'm so excited about is formations and personnel on both sides of the ball. Like I want to see how are they going to use Skinner? How are they going to use Shamar Kirk when they want to sprinkle in the freshman Chris Johnson? How do you get him on the field? Is there going to be a speed package where it's Tyler Harrell, Robbie Washington, Ray, and Brashard Smith and Skinner? Like how is the schemes going to look? When do they bring Robbie Washington out or Bobby Washington at linebacker? Because he can be a rush in too. So I'm just excited to see how do they use guys. Jaden Davis, the transfer, who can play every position in the secondary. How do
He's
they
been a
use
pleasant
him?
surprise, I think, in camp, because I don't think anybody kind of thought that he would be the guy at the striker position.
That kid comes from the Big 12 where he saw 75 passes a game.
Yep.
He's just seen so much football that having him in that room is an asset to the young defensive backs.
Absolutely.
He has seen route combinations they wouldn't even imagine that they run in the Big 12.
Yep.
And adding a guy like that, adding a guy like Richard in the secondary, I'm just excited to see how the personnel groupings look with, Jaden Harris playing the star this year. I'm excited to see what are they cooking up and what is it going to look like. We've seen a lot of vanilla. They're going to throw some sprinkles on there now.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to show us the strawberry, and I'm excited to see it.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we got a million questions in the chat. We're never going to get to them all, but DJ, this bud's for you, man.
Oh, DJ, that's you. You got to start.
DJ, the floor is yours, man. Go for
tight
it.
end aficionado here.
We go for it.
So, I mean, I feel like there are a lot of question marks in the room. I'm not sure with this particular offensive scheme that the tight end as a receiving, entity will be used a ton. I feel like this is where, the new toys at the wide receiver position come into play. I do feel like obviously the tight end will be used in a receiving capacity at some point. I don't love the depth in the room right now, but I feel like this offense is not tight end heavy, so it won't necessarily show up over the course of a game.
What I think is that from a traditional tight end perspective, I think you're going to see guys like the big guys like the McCormicks and eventually a Jackson Carver, those kind of guys be your big time blocking tight ends.
Yeah.
But the guy that I like Arroyo. I think when healthy, he can be a really good tight end. But for me, the guy that you cannot sleep on that I think is going to be the best tight end to come out of here in a long time is Riley Williams. I think that once he's healthy and you can use him in big sets, you can spread him out. The same thing you can do with Skinner and Arroyo to some extent. But that's what you're going to have to do to make them to put them in a position to make plays down the field is spread them out, right? Get them out, get them off the line, because that's what they do the best. They go out there and they're mismatch. They're problem. They're a problem.
They're freak athletes
matching up against safeties and linebackers. And so if you can get them out there, which Shannon Dawson will do, he knows what he's got from that perspective. From a traditional tight end, you're not going to see that too much in this offense. But from a tight end that can go out there and make plays, wide and then big formations, you got those big sets and first and goal when you're 10 yards out, and you've got Skinner on one side. Although Skinner has got to get his head right, but that's for another conversation. But as far as from a skill position, from a skill wise, you get the ball to Skinner in space. He's going to make people miss. He's going to run over people. He's going to outrun people, and that's what you want him to do. That's what you want Skinner to do. He's just got to get his. For me, I just saw some things I didn't like from a hustle perspective and things like that. But that's whatever. That's stuff that Cristobal can get in his ear, scream at him a little bit, and strain him out. So that's a culture thing, right? At the end of that, thing. If you're not with it, then you're not going to be here. So if he gets his mind right and he buys in fully, I think Skinner is really talented.
It's also a deep position. He's not going to get on the field if he doesn't. So.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's not going to get on the field. McCormick will play a lot more than he will if he doesn't get his mind right. And that's not a knock on McCormick because he does some things really well. He's also 48 years old. So I mean,
grown man.
You know what I mean? So he's got.
Look, man, why you gotta take a shot at our generation here, Jazz, man? Man.
I did it because we're in our 40s, man. We're all right. We can take it.
Yeah, I know. We got one guy left on the team that's like our age group, and you got to go after him.
Bunch of old guys on the top of the screen over
here. What are you talking about? Ryan Rigoni. Ryan Rigoni, I feel like he's 68. He's been on the team forever too. I can't believe he's still on the team. Anyway,
still got 2 years eligibility. Our man's gonna
Let's go. Let's go. We're hitting a decade, baby.
They're starting linebackers soon, right? No, I'm just kidding. I wish not. Knock on wood.
Big comment on Caleb Spencer. I don't know if you guys have thought on that.
He right now to me, and I'll let you handle this also, Chalupa. But he's like he's a boom guy, right? He needs to learn the defense a little bit more, but you see the talent there, and he's gonna lay people out, and I love that. I don't know if you saw the Canes fans, the scrimmage. Him and Mark Fletcher went head to head on that one play, and it felt like a bomb was dropped in Hard Rock. It went like this, boom, and they went like that. They nailed each other, and then Fletcher didn't move, Spencer didn't move, and then Fletcher fell forward, which is what you want to see in a running back, right? Always fall forward, but they destroyed each other at the line. Fletcher fell forward, Caleb didn't move back, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be fun to watch.
Oh, Caleb is a beast.
Yeah, he is.
Caleb is a monster. I think so. Pay close attention to what James Williams looks like this year from a position standpoint, from a scheme standpoint. That is what you're going to see from Caleb Spencer in the future. So Guidry's defense, it plays 3 safeties. The third one's called a star. Sometimes, depending on the set, it'll be called a nickel. Essentially, it's a star. You're going to see Jaden Harris at that a lot. I thought Markeith would have been really good for the star, but it looks like Jaden Harris has been just balling there. I think Jaden Davis would be good for it too. I think we'll see James Williams there a lot. That Will or Sam linebacker is going to end up being that star position. I think the reason that they'll do him at the star a lot too is because he'll keep his position ranking as a safety for, end of the year awards and all that stuff as well. I think that's where you see Caleb Spencer in the future. We kind of thought linebacker when he got recruited or nickel. And then the second he hit Greentree, we saw him with Lance Guidry playing safety. So I think they like that versatility. They like that he can drop back in coverage. He can cover slot receivers. He can cover tight ends, but he also hits like a linebacker. So I think if you pay close attention to what they do with James Williams this year, when he's needed in the box, he'll be in the box. When we need him up high, he'll be up high. You'll see him on the slot some. I think that's how you're going to see Caleb Spencer in the future. He's a football player. So you don't want to pencil him down anywhere. You just let Caleb Spencer play football. And that's kind of what you saw from Andre Sam at Marshall, where the defense was very base. And then Andre Sam was the splash of color. He got to move around and play around and blitz off the edge. And like I said, cover. He has that versatility where he can cover slot receivers or a tight end. So you don't have to worry, is Caleb a liability if you have him in for run support as well. So I think Caleb is going to be huge in the future for this team. He's going to fill that same role that we'll see from James Williams this year. Their skill sets are similar too. If you look at it, other than James Williams just being a freak of an athlete, their skill sets are very, very similar.
Simmons role, like that Isaiah Simmons,
yes,
player, which is exciting to watch. Because if you ever saw Isaiah Simmons play at Clemson, man, that kid was unbelievable. So
you let him rush the passer when it's time. You just let him play football. Hoodie girl.
She came back.
We got to see your draft team. You better post that.
Yeah, you better post the draft. And Melissa, we actually stayed on topic the whole time too.
We did. It was
something we should try in buckets. One more question that I think would probably be interesting to get everyone's thoughts on, like the return game. Who do you think we're gonna stick back there and kickoffs and punts? Obviously, Restrepo started last year there, but he got hurt, and I don't know that they want him.
I think. You know what, Chalu, I'm gonna let you handle this first, man. You're the guest. Go ahead.
I think that's a good reason not to let 7 back there. Let's let 7 do what 7 needs to do, and that is moving the chains on third down. We should have a crazy competition for both return spots. You look at guys like Brashard Smith, Shamar Kirk, Robbie Washington. I'll give you guys my sleeper and who I desperately want them to let return is Robert Stafford. I don't know if they want to burn his red shirt by having him play in too many games, but if you pull up Robert Stafford's film from high school, he is a weapon as a returner. Former receiver, so he has that ability in the open field. Robert Stafford is electric as a returner. I'd like to see him back there. But then you got Robbie Washington, who is another guy who's electric with the ball in his hands. You could see him as a returner. Ray, I think they'll get Ray some burn as a returner too. Don't sleep on maybe AJ Allen or Chris Johnson getting some burn at returner. It's something Miami used to do in the past too with their younger running backs that weren't getting on the field as much. You saw it with like Mike James when he was younger. They kind of, okay, go get a couple returns in and get the ball in your hands to, like was mentioned earlier, you don't want all these guys to sit on the sideline all game long. So I wouldn't be shocked if you see AJ Allen out there a little bit, but from probably mid-season on, I'm guessing that's Ray Joseph, Robbie Washington, and whoever else wants to come get some reps. But if it's not either one of them, I have serious questions because they have something we don't have or we did not have on this team last year. And I just desperately want them to let Robert Stafford do it, because if you watch this man's huddle, him with the ball in his hands is special. And I don't think he gets on the field a lot in the secondary this year. He's young. And like I said, he's a former receiver. So he's still not new to the position, but he's still kind of new to the position, much like Markeith Williams, who's still learning, who played a lot of receiver in high school. So I don't think you see him on the field a lot on the defense. So give him some burn as a returner, but I think you let the young guys do it. Let the young guys go out there and compete. Let them compete and let them all be jockeying on the sideline like, I got to go next, because if I let Ray go before me, he going to break off one for 30, and then they're going to let him do it again. So create a competitive atmosphere where you tell the young guys the return game is y'all's.
I think that for me, right, this is my opinion. I think it's a no-brainer to have the fastest guy potentially in college football back there. That's Tyler Harrell.
Yeah. You can't forget about him. Yeah.
He's a jet, right? Like straight line speed. I don't think there's many that can do it like him. I do think, though, I kind of agree with you. I need another guy. Like if you have two guys back there, I need another guy that's shifty, that can find the hole and make something out of nothing. I don't know if Tyler Harrell's that guy. Tyler Harrell's that straight line guy. He finds a hole. If he hits it, he's gone. Nobody's going to catch him. I think guys that can kind of move around, a guy like Brashard Smith, a guy like maybe Shamar Kirk, Ray. Those are the guys that I think are going to be battling as well. I know that they had Isaiah. I think they had Zay Horton back there at one point.
That's a big dude to be returning.
He's big though, right? So I don't know if he fits that, but I agree with you. It's got to be one of those guys, but I think you need to have Tyler Harrell back there. I think he's just too fast not to utilize his speed in that game. Now it's a different story. And that's kick return, really. Punt return, I think, is a different story. I think you really need to have those shifty, smaller guys like the Brashard Smith, Ray, Kirk, something like that back there. Restrepo was obviously great back there, but I think, like you said, just have him play offense. Forget about the special team stuff. I like Robert Stafford. I think he's talented. I think you probably know him better from that perspective than I do. So yeah, give him a shot. Why not? I don't care about that. Absolutely, I'm totally on board with that too. But I think it's Tyler Harrell, and then everybody else jockeying for that second spot at kick returner. So for sure,
it's a good idea to get the ball in Tyler Harrell's hands more too. We got a lot of depth at receiver, and like I was saying, sometimes we can't get you the ball here. Go out there and get a return or two. And maybe you earn some more playing time on the field. He busts one, and Dawson goes, okay, I gotta use this guy more.
Absolutely. You're gonna see him on some screen. I don't want to give away too much, but those screens are, if they can execute them, it's
we got to bring back the running back screen this year too. That's something we used to be so good at in the past.
It's a wrap if they can put that together. It's gonna be hard to cover that. One more question before we get you. It's a two-part question, but one before we get you out of here. We appreciate it. I know we went over a little bit, but
no problem at all.
It's game week, right?
Oh yeah.
One question here. Your prediction for Friday, and also who do you think scores the first touchdown for the Canes?
I've been thinking about that second one since Coop answered that, and now that I know it's all been running backs, I've been pondering that one. My prediction for the game: 35-10 Canes.
I like it.
35-10 Canes. I think we run the ball early often. I think we control most of this game. I do know they've got a scrappy defense. They've got a pretty good defense, but I think we come out, we punch them in the mouth early and often. We control the game, and I think we're all celebrating and we're all happy. This should not be anything we're worried about. If we want to get back to where we want to get, we have to stop worrying about games like this. You are supposed to win these and then go on to the next one, but you have to handle business. It's week one. I don't think we'll see perfection from the offense or the defense, so do not freak out if it's a 3-and-out on the first drive.
God, you're talking to Kings fans. 3-and-out, and that's it. Fire Coach Cristobal, man.
Relax, trust the process, but I do think 35-10. I think we'll take care of this team. I think then it's on to the rest of the season. This one shouldn't be that bad of a struggle. Obviously, first game of the year, there's going to be some jitters on both sides of the football, so they may start slow, but I'd say this game should be in hand by the end of the third quarter. There's no reason why we should not see 11 in the fourth quarter at some point in this game. Who I think scores the first touchdown is Cam McCormick, and here's why.
Ow.
I think we get in the red zone.
Excited about that one.
I think we get in the red zone, right? And we got all these shiny new toys, all these running backs, and I think we go play action, and I think we slip it to the old man, and I think he gets our first touchdown of the year.
I'm all for it, man.
I like it. Yeah.
I am all for that. I would love.
We need the old man revolution.
Yes, let's go.
we keep talking about how none of these kids were alive last time Miami won a championship. This man,
this man was.
This man referenced
it's great misdirection too.
That's awesome. Man.
Nobody's expecting it.
That's true.
Nobody. And then when you get in the goal line, you're obviously going to think, oh, they're going to bring in the kid Fletcher or Chaney. And then, let's bring in Chaney. And then slip McCormick right to the back of the end zone.
Right off the line, little drag route. And
nice little dump for TVD.
I like it.
When he does it, he can flex whatever finger that they said was messed up so that people know he's fine. He can just
it's got to be the
jazz
one
hands.
at this point.
I'm gonna send TVD a message. I'm gonna be like, give me jazz hands after the first TD.
It looks pretty good to me, man. Oh man, hey, let them know where they can find you. I know you put together some really great content, man. Not only on Twitter but on your YouTube shows and stuff. What do you got going on?
So you can catch me on All Hurricanes, write for them, and I do podcasting for them as well. allhurricanes.com. The You Heard podcast, I run the social media for the You Heard podcast, and I usually try to make at least one show a week because I work during the week. It's hard for me to make the recording during the week, but I try not to miss both of them. New episodes drop Mondays and Thursdays. I always have to be corrected on that, so I make sure I got that right. And if you search Chalupa Batman on YouTube, you'll find my YouTube. I do something a little different. I do huddle watch alongs with recruits. So I'll have players on with me, and instead of just like a regular interview, we watch their film together. I ask them about plays, and we kind of talk through the film and just go back and forth. I try to make them laugh, and we just kind of break down the film together and talk. I've done them with most of our commits so far. Dylan Day, Isaiah Thomas, Derek Plaz, Nino Francavilla, Dalen Russell. I think I've done them with most of them so far. Had one with Kennedy Urlacher come out last week. Tomorrow, actually, at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm dropping the one with 4-star linebacker Cameron Pruitt.
Nice.
Our commit from Theodore. So we sat down. We talked for about an hour. So that one was pretty cool. So that's something I do. Check me out on YouTube. Search Chalupa Batman, and I'm pretty sure you'll see me somewhere on Twitter. I'm posting some recruits somewhere.
Appreciate that. That's awesome. Hey, yo, what's up? You came
back.
Hey,
yo. Shout out to the Miami Mayhem show, man. Those guys are awesome.
They are pretty awesome, man. We do appreciate them coming on. Chalupa Batman, it's been a pleasure, man. You're a part of the fam, so you're more than welcome to come on at any time as long as Mel is not on the show. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man. Let us know what's up. We'll see you going out to the games?
I'm gonna try to make. So I'm out in Texas. I'm out in Houston. So I'm going to try to make the Louisville game because it's later in the season and it's easier for me to get off work if it's later in the season. And then it's the first Schnellenberger game, so I think it'll be kind of cool to go to that one. So I'm thinking about going to that. But other than that, no, I'll be at the house and out here in Houston roasting in the 104-degree weather as it is.
Well, we're basically in a pool all day, so with our humidity. So I feel you.
But I did want to say thank you guys so much for having me on. Like I was ecstatic. Like when I got the DM, I was like, yo! That's why I showed up early. It wasn't me just trying to be on early. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Like I was ecstatic. yeah, everything you guys do is absolutely awesome. So I was honored to be on the show, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
We
awesome.
truly
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
it,
Happy to have you.
We'll definitely do some more stuff during the year, so we'll keep in touch, and whenever Vish goes down to see his alma mater. No, I'm just kidding. He's not an alma mater.
Dude. Houston.
Miami's his alma mater. He was born.
They have the worst hand signal of all time.
He's got his degrees up there. Don't get it twisted. All right?
Is that why he does it? Solid. They have the worst hand signal of all time. It's the worst hand signal of all time.
Unbelievable.
I'm also trying to petition for Miami of Ohio to start doing like something like this.
How about
or
they
like
just
this?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
We're not gonna remember them after like Saturday night.
We shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Afterthought.
There is no reason why we should ever worry about. You know what I mean? I don't want to be rude, but come on, man. This is what it is. We need to beat this team, get back to being who we are, where when they're on the schedule, we know it's take care of business week. This ain't bulletin board week because nothing they say should matter. It's take care of business week.
Facts.
Show them who we are, and we're on to A&M.
That's it. That's it. We'll see you around soon, my man.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night. Wow, what a show today, man. What a show.
All right, so I do have Melissa's fantasy team if you want to see it.
Yeah, let's end with that. Let's end with
that's a good closer. She's refusing to come back on the
What about
show.
Prize Picks?
But we should probably.
We'll give a shout out to Prize Picks as we do this fantasy draft stuff. Right?
What's sponsors? Who cares? All right, so she's got Tua as the quarterback.
All right, got your boy Tony.
Yeah, Tony Pollard, of course. She went with the Cowboy. Aaron Jones is the other running back. Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Dalton Kincaid is the tight end.
Rookie Dalton Kincaid from Utah. Yeah. Utah, right?
Yeah, Utah.
And then Chris Godwin, George Pickens are the flex.
I like Pickens.
Jason Myers, the kicker, and the Bengals defense.
Okay.
Then on the bench, Kareem Hunt, Samaje Perine, Isaiah Pacheco, Zay Jones, Traylon Burke, and Sky Moore.
I think you needed to add another quarterback there, but aside from that,
yeah, I mean, how are you handling the bye week, and as well as the look, Dolphins fans? I'll just say fragility.
Yeah,
it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
I know it's a sore subject.
Like he had to learn how to fall, like this training camp. So
yeah, so we'll see.
Maybe we'll see.
No, but I mean, you still need a backup anyway.
Yeah, you still need one. Yeah, you still need a backup quarterback. So I would suggest dropping one of those, maybe Perine or something. You know
what? I think it's awesome that Chalupa was so excited to come on our show today. That's awesome. Great. That's great, man. That's great. I'm glad that somebody looks forward to our rigorous show prep.
You know, you'd think that because I did the late night thing with Taco Bell, but I mean, the guy's got Taco Bell on his name, right?
So you know what that's a reference to, right?
No, I don't.
I'm assuming it's from the league where they named their baby Chalupa Batman.
Yep.
Oh, I would assume.
That's a great show. Well, actually,
is it good? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Like 3 seasons were good, and then it kind of.
That's cool.
It's funny, but they named their kid Chalupa Batman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they made a fantasy bet where they could name the kid, and so someone else named it.
Who would be our backup quarterback?
Our backup quarterback it's Jakari Brown.
Yeah, it's Jakari Brown. Yeah. Gary said. Gary's already.
Good God, they're gonna ban each other in this chat too. Block each other. There's beef.
Oh man! All right, really quick, just for fun, we're gonna do predictions.
Yeah, let's do it.
What about Prize Picks? Do we do Prize Picks?
Let's do Prize Picks really quick.
Yeah, let's do Prize Picks. Let's do the spot. I mean,
it's pretty bad when I'm the one keeping the show.
I mean, we did get a dono, which is more than we're gonna get from Prize Picks, so we already made money on this show.
Thanks, DJ. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. I do what I can.
On the straight and narrow because clearly
not all heroes wear capes.
You know, go to prizepicks.com, check them out. When you log in, make sure you put the code 5 FIVE, and they will match your initial deposit up to $100. It's real simple. Go to prizepicks.com, choose 2 to 5 players, and choose the over/under on their individual categories. Win some money. what's great about it is that you can mix and match players from different teams, different divisions, different leagues. You can go from the NFL to the NBA to baseball to Formula One, college baseball. You can, college football. You can do it all. I mean, you can, and so many different things. But what's great about it is you go in there, you go to PrizePicks.com, log in, put in the code 5, F-I-V-E, and they will match your initial deposit up to $100. Make sure you check them out. It's PrizePicks.com. All right, let's do predictions. Let's do it. DJ,
wait, hold on. We got to bring out our guest picker who just said she wasn't coming back, but then
our
came
guest
back.
picker, PJ Johnson over there.
From my phone.
Oh,
HG, just coming in with a nickname here.
HG, huh? You got an HG phone? Jeez,
I was rushing to get back on the show. I didn't want to turn my computer back on. So
she's an Android user. Ugh.
No, it's not. I use iPhone.
What's HG then?
Hoodie girl.
It's been a long show. We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'll let it slide, Jess. All right, predictions time.
Oh, Jazz. All right, predictions time. Mel, go ahead. HG.
What am I predicting?
The win over Miami, Ohio. How bad?
Oh, the score.
Score.
Yeah.
Do scores.
I'm gonna roll with 34-10.
Do I write these down, Fish? Yeah, right? What the hell?
Why not? We have everything else.
Doing this?
Like, predictions, yeah.
Why? Yeah,
34-10.
We haven't been doing this.
Yeah, just remember your scores, damn it.
It
All right,
doesn't
what'd you
matter.
say? 30 what? 30 what?
34-10. The internet remembers. We can always just go back and refer to this.
True. This is true. 34 to
It
10.
doesn't matter. Blue's not here to make fun of me. We're not writing anything down.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're never right anyways. That's true. DJ, what do you got?
I had 34-17. So
34-17. Vish.
42-13.
He went into the 40s, baby.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be up. We're gonna be up big early. We're gonna be pulling the starters at halftime.
42-14, you said?
13.
42-13. Okay. I like that. I'm gonna go 38-13. 38-13. Miami wins it.
So we all have cover?
Yeah, we're all covering,
Yeah.
right? 16. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the correct way to bet. The correct way to bet is to go to Prize Picks.
Right. 34-10, right, Mel?
34-10, right? Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? We might do a little something special this week if we have time. Let me think about it. Crew, watchers, YouTube, Six Rings fans.
I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of the show now. I missed all the other guest speakers because I was drafting a championship team.
Well,
when Tua goes down in week 1.
Listen, I wasn't reaching.
Don't put that out there. What's the matter with you?
Quarterback.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm a Cowboys fan.
I'm a Pats fan, so
Quarterbacks
Tua goes down
went
week
so
1.
early. People were two quarterbacks went in the first round. I wasn't having that. Like, I'm not reaching for.
That's a bad draft. There's 2 quarterbacks in the first round.
By the way,
Mahomes went second.
You all are lucky, but you
wait, second overall pick?
Yes.
Who did?
Mahomes. Who are you drafting with?
I just want you guys to know something in that league, Mel.
Yeah.
And ask Max, the inaugural fantasy football league last year. You know who won it, right? You're lucky your boy is not in that league this year. All right? Because I would have smoked y'all this year. This is the defending champ, and I didn't even play. You know why?
Listen, I got wide receiver ones and running back ones as my flex and on my bench. So I think I had a very good draft. I had the third pick. It was a 12-team league.
No, I'm done. I'm done playing with so many leagues.
I only have 2. I'm only in 2. I'm in this one, and I have my keeper league that I've been in for over 10 years.
I'm in one just in one this year. I gave up my commissioner rights and everything after being commissioner for like 15 years. I was like, I'm done. No more commissioner.
Next year, invite me to your league, because any league that drafts Patrick Mahomes second overall, I feel like I would.
I want to be a part. I should have defended my title, man. Jesus.
You should have said any league that Jazz wins is obviously winnable. So.
We need a 6-ring Canes league next year.
What, for all 5 of us?
No, there's 6 of us actually.
I mean, what, you counted Matt?
All
Yeah.
6 of us? Yeah. 16 league. Wow, we'll all have.
I mean, Matt will only participate if it's NBA though. He's not going in on us.
You guys, remember when we did that league like 3 years ago and I won the whole thing? It was like this whole network, and we did a whole league, and I won the whole thing.
Yep, that's right. I do remember that.
That was before I was a part of this programming.
Yeah, there were a lot of faces that aren't around anymore.
Listen, tradition for me, Mal. Please win it this year. That way we can, the Six Rings could win the Flow League again.
I think I got a good team. If you look at some of the other teams in that league, I think I got a good shot.
It is good.
Jalen Waddle fell to me in the 3rd round. I mean, come on, bro. I
think it's time to get out of here.
I think so.
I want to do another 2 hours and 24 minutes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can do it by yourself.
Wait, hold on.
Welcome to Buckets.
How long ago did Blue leave?
9:30 because he had to interview Paul Skeens. I gotta go interview the number 1 pick in the baseball draft.
Number 1 draft.
No, I'm gonna go back now and watch the other part of the show, guys. I'm sad I missed most of it. I'm sure it was a great show, especially because I got 2 of the guys on for you. So you're welcome.
Oh, look at this taking credit.
Yeah.
Taking credit.
Well, I mean, you saw how happy Chalupa Batman was about getting that invite in his DMs. You know who DM'd him, right? Myself. So,
I just want you to know that I DM'd them and they answered me as well. But anyways, after
everyone knows Coop didn't answer a DM. What are you talking? That's not unbelievable.
Ian, I love you, brother, and I think they definitely should do that. That would be crazy. That would be awesome because that's true evaluation and true talent. They're evaluating, and this is not a knock on anybody else, but those guys know what they're doing, man.
No, that would be
100%
amazing.
do.
I agree with that. They should do that.
Blue needs another job. That's what Blue needs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Blue's not working hard enough.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
No kidding. All right, my people. Well, Friday is around the corner.
Are we doing any kind of post-game, pre-game?
I'm going to the Worcester Red Sox on Friday, so I unfortunately will be out of town. I didn't plan that well. But
I mean, we're all at the game.
Yeah,
the rest of us will be there.
So
all right, nice.
Maybe what we could do is kind of like a little video there while we're there.
Have a couple beers for me.
We'll do a little something, something with the crew, with us 3. We're all in the green. Maybe we should hook up. We'll talk about the soft line, but we'll hook up.
Yeah, we'll talk offline. I don't know when. I'm sure.
But is Blue going to be there? Because I need to get a pick with Blue for my Wall of Fame.
Blue will be there. Yeah. So
Blue's everywhere.
Yeah, we'll keep it locked. Make sure you keep it locked on Twitter.
There'll be content. Or if not, maybe we can do something Saturday, just like as a quick wrap up before the other games.
For sure. Yeah, we'll figure something out. At 6 Rings Canes on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. We'll be on every Monday, previewing games now for season. Now that the season is here, and we will also do some added content, whether it's game day or the day before. We'll do some stuff for you guys as well. Stay on the lookout for that. We may be doing some playback stuff as well soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But make sure you follow us on Twitter. We'll have all the information posted for you there. Follow all of our Twitters as well, our individual ones. Vicious is on there. Mine is up here. DJ's is up as well. And then Mel's is pretty easy. It's
the Cooler Mel B.
At the Cooler Mel B.
I think Gary's saying. I think I yelled at Gary on Twitter once. I'm pretty.
Oh no, you blocked him. There's beef there.
Oh yeah,
you blocked him during the Final Four.
Me and Gary had an argument. Maybe I should unblock him. We can.
Yeah, you guys need to make up.
Yeah, Gary's a longtime friend of the program here. So
Gary, I apologize if I was rude, but I was very emotional.
By the way,
Gary.
By the way, super into Chick-fil-A. So
yes,
right, Gary.
Spicy nuggets.
I gotta get on Twitter and maybe unblock him. He was trying to play devil's advocate after the Final Four loss, and I just was not having it.
Yeah, be nice, Mel. All right, Gary has spicy nuggets on tap.
It's a double mute situation. So you're gonna.
We blocked each other.
It's gonna be one of those like nuclear.
Yeah, you need to do the same. You need to unblock and unmute her. She needs to unmute you.
Everybody play nice.
Get over it.
And don't get into a fight at the tailgates, please.
That's it. Get over this. Yeah, we'll see you guys at the game. Please make sure you come and check us out. We'll probably be hanging out with the Flow crew also, because we're all one big happy family. We'll see you guys on Friday. Go Canes.
The 6 Rig Cane Show. Yeah. The 6 Rig Cane Show. Yeah. The 6 Rings Cane Show.